What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web here on a Monday night as we talk Tampa Bay Buccaneer football, as the Rays are just a couple days away. USF is out of the basketball tournament. Florida is out of the basketball tournament. So if you want to talk March Madness, you can, but I don't know if anybody cares about it. It has been a great tournament. But we're going to focus on Tampa Bay Buccaneer football tonight, maybe move some of that stuff in a little bit later. But how do we start off the show? Once again, I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And, of course, for the Tampa Bay sports fans of the sports web, go Bucs fans, it's your time. Three things. Bring your passion, bring your excitement, just don't bring any nonsense. On tonight's show, we'll have JC Allen of X, the Sick podcast, joining us, talking about the big signing of the day, which I know a lot of people are not happy about it because it's not a big name linebacker, but it's a pretty good linebacker, and Christian Rozeboom from the Carolina Panthers. So another Carolina Panther joining The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they already got Alex Anzalone. So I guess my question for the night, does that mean that Lavonte David is done? Does it mean that the Bucs know something? Or once again, am I assuming too much? The phone lines will be open as always. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. I would be remiss not to say you like the haircut, you like the beard trim, you like the fade. You don't have to go far. It's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. Whether, again, it's a beard trim, a haircut, a fade, they got you covered. Go see my favorite barber, Ricky, and all the great and talented barbers there at Up the Block Barbershop, and tell them the Rolex reporter Peter Blake sent you. This is my new baby every day. Bucs fans, you wanted it. You said you wanted more sports web. Well, I got something better for you. It's on the Fan Arch Network. Bucs Latest on YouTube 5 days a week. We're nearly at 600 subscribers, and it's only been about 3 weeks in. Let's get it up to 1,000. It's Bucs News every day, 10 to 15 minutes there on the Fan Arch Network. It's called Bucs Latest. If you haven't liked and subscribed yet, what are you doing? Once again, on the Fan Arch Network, it's Bucs Latest. And of course, right here, if you haven't been paying attention, I'm not only on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram Live, LinkedIn Live. I'll try to be professional, I promise. And then, of course, TikTok, because I'm a part of the Carter Agency. It's more than just a game right there. They gave me the opportunity. They said they want the evolution of sports talk television. We talk about it in 2026. It's all about expansion of this show, and that's what we're doing here. So we're live on TikTok, so thanks a lot to that agency. Let's get back to it. Let's get out to them. Mr. JC Allen there on, of course, X. Welcome to the evolution of sports talk television. What do we make of this? Look at this. We got you on camera. Hey. No avatar. Look at that, man. Welcome to the evolution of sports talk television. And I got to start out with the big-time linebacker signing from the Carolina Panthers, Christian Rozeboom. What do you know about him? Here's what I know about him. Pro Football Focus, just going through it. 48.4 overall mark. While recognized as a strong tackler, he struggled significantly in coverage with the 43.4 grade. In run gap discipline leading to 41.9, 43.4 coverage grade. Once again, not necessarily the best grades, but here's a guy who had 122 tackles, back-to-back 100 tackle seasons. So I guess with this signing, once again, and you add him to Anzalone, and he's got the hair, so you got both of these linebackers with the hair at this point. Should we assume, first and foremost, this is a good signing by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and could it mean the end of Lavonte David as we know it? Welcome to the evolution.
Always happy to be here, Peter. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for the introduction. Appreciate it. I got to give credit to where credit's due. Greg Auman came up with the best pun. He called it the 3-4 defense. So not a 3-4, it's a 3-Thor with those two long-haired guys. But I think this signing is getting a little bit overblown for what it is, really. I think he is more competition with Servassier Dennis than anything. In my mind, similar kind of guy. I think Dennis actually has more upside when it comes to coverage. You mentioned it. His coverage grade last year was a 43.4, ranking him 72nd among 88 qualifying linebackers. Obviously, Servassier Dennis came in at 84 out of 88, but Lavonte came in at 69th. So not the best, especially when you compare him to a guy like Anzalone, who was up in the 30s there, is one of the top, maybe even higher than that if my memory can't remember it right now. But it just gives you a sense of the idea of what this guy is. He's a two-down, run stopper. And that's kind of it. When you look at his numbers, his tackle numbers, Josh Capo of Pewter Report, he put something up on there. Let me see if I can get it. But pretty much, I think about 40% of his tackles came as run stops. 40% of his solo tackles went for a stop, which is not a successful play for the offense, meaning there's no they didn't gain the yardage. So it was either a tackle for a loss or tackle at the line or something like that. For comparison, Servassier Dennis had a 56% and Alex Anzalone had a 65%. Pretty much the point there is 100 tackles back-to-back years, yes, but not all tackles are the same. And racking them up a bunch after the offense has succeeded isn't very helpful in the first place. The same argument with Devin White, right? Devin White's out there. Look at all the tackles I made. But everyone in the Raiders are like, get this guy off of my team. I will gladly give up those tackles to get him off of the team. Not to say that Rozeboom is that by any means. He gives you a guy who started meaningful games the last 2 seasons in the league. He's a guy that can be kind of that tone setter a little bit in the run defense when he comes downhill and doesn't have to worry about dropping coverage into space. And he's not going to give you much as a blitzer. He's had 2 sacks. They both came last year in his career. But what he does is he's the same thing that everybody else does, right? He raises the floor of this room, of this linebacking core. So now you have Alex Anzalone going into the draft. You have Christian Rozeboom, and you have Servasti Dennis and Nick Jackson. That gives you a solid base where you can draft a rookie or 2. I think they probably only draft 1 this year. And then, the door's still open for Lavonte David. So, I mean, it turns into Alex Anzalone is 1 starter. And then you have a 3-way competition between whatever rookie you take in rounds 1 through 3, whichever round that happens to be. And then Servasti Dennis and Christian Rozeboom. And then in the worst case scenario, you have excellent depth. And you can utilize Servasti Dennis as a blitzer, something you can't do with Rozeboom. So you have that guy who can come down. And if on 3rd down, you want to send somebody, you can send him. So it kind of gives them some flexibility going into the draft as they wait for Lavonte David's decision, which I don't think this is a precursor to rule things out. I know some people mentioned that, hey, maybe this is something where they're kind of forcing Lavonte out, the Bucs only have so much money to spend, and if we'll see what Rozeboom's, contract comes out as, but they're right up against it. They've got about $2.6 million of that $50 million cap. And oh, by the way, they still need not cap, but projected cash allowance, I should say, from the Glazers, because the cap is one thing. The cash that they can spend on contracts is another thing. And that's where a lot of fans get confused. It's like, oh, the cap space is this, go out. But it's how much are the owners willing to give you in cash to spend on these signing bonuses to get these guys and on their yearly salary and everything like that. So, that's a big thing. And some owners give more. You see, like the Eagles and like other teams like that. They'll just spend. Here is $100 million. The Glazers typically are like that. They, outside of the Brady years, they're usually in the bottom third of spending. So they're right up against what they have for spending the cash if you calculate all the contracts they've spent this year. So some people think, Lavonte played on $10 million. You just saw DeMario Davis get $12 million on 2 years from the Jets on that $22 million or $11 million on that $22 million deal. Bobby Wagner has yet to sign, and his agent, Ron Butler, went on WDAU with T-Craz and pretty much said that. He's keeping an eye on these guys and what they're signing. And if it's going to take $10 million to bring Lavonte out of semi-retirement where he's kind of at right now, then Bucs might not have it. And while there's an understanding from Jason Light and ownership that this is a special case, similar to Mike Evans, there was an offer to Mike Evans for $20 million. Even if they signed Mike Evans, they still wouldn't need to bring the guys they brought in and still bring at least pieces in to compete. So that tells me that, in my mock offseason when I was on here promoting that, if the Glazers opened up the wallets a little bit more, they could keep Mike Evans and make some moves. Well, they were willing to do that, and they're willing to do that with Lavonte David. It's just Lavonte's taking his time in deciding this. And there's multiple reasons why. Maybe, again, it's the money thing, right? And he's waiting to see what Bobby Wagner gets. And maybe the Bucs are at like $4 million, and he's like, I don't know if I want to come back for $4 million. Let's see what Bobby gets. And maybe it's kind of a waiting game on that. Maybe it's the fact that he just had surgery after the season, and he's still rehabbing. Jason Light has confirmed as much, that he's rehabbing in Tampa, which he's usually in Miami. So maybe that's a good sign. He spends a lot of time in Miami. He does come back and forth. But if he's staying in Tampa to rehab, and he's in the building quite frequently, as Jason Light said, that's a good sign that he's taking this rehab seriously. But rehabbing and lifting are different than getting out on the football field and moving and seeing how that knee reacts now that you've had surgery on it. And it was arthroscopic surgery, so it wasn't a big one, but still, there's a recovery time to it. You want to see how that goes. So that's another reason why they could be waiting. The Bucs are going to draft the linebacker no matter what. Whether that comes early or late, we'll kind of see, depending on if Lavonte, maybe they feel like they can hold off until early day 3. I don't think so. I think they need to get the pipeline going. And I think day 2 is, the minimum of when you want to get a guy. But all that to say is Rozeboom covers your bases when you're going into the draft, because you have 2 guys. You have Servasti started last year. You have Rozeboom started last year. Those guys can compete. They both suck in coverage, but maybe Alex Anzalone can help cover for that now, and maybe they can get better. I still think there's more to Voss. I think Rozeboom kind of is what he is at this point, but I think Voss can reach. I mean, he only had 1 year starting, and he did get better in coverage as the season went on. Not much, but you could see it kind of coming together for him. Didn't help that there was a bunch of injuries and stuff like that, and they could get no pressure on the quarterback. So, I mean, that was a big issue too. But it just kind of covers your bases, and going to the draft, you can still allow that flexibility to wait on Lavonte a little bit more. And then you can also, get someone that, hey, who doesn't want to learn from Lavonte David, so if the rookie's got to kind of take a back seat and split snaps with Lavonte David, not a bad gig your rookie year, right?
Not a bad gig at all. And listen, it doesn't pigeonhole them because they don't have to draft somebody at 15, although I think they're going for an edge rusher at this point. Going back to Lavonte David, do you get the sense that he still has something left in the tank, that he's disappointed, that he has a bad taste in his mouth from the knee injury last year? Because why even rehab? And I get it.
As we get further and further into this, Peter, I think you just hit the nail on the head. As we get further into, I know people are like, oh, why did he take? But this is getting back into the rehab. He's seeing other people sign. He's seeing, DeMario's still going. Oh, these other, I can still go. I know I can still go. And Lavonte said when he doesn't think he's the best player on the field, that he'll want to walk away. But at the same time, that competitive fire is there, and he's seen some moves, and now he doesn't have a young kid or a freelancer. Like, you can turn on the tape and see what Alex Anzalone can do. You can turn on the tape and see what A'Shawn Robinson creates, and having him and Vita Vea and Kalijah Kancey and Yaya Diaby and AQ Muhammad and hopefully a rookie supplemental draft pick there, and maybe David Walker's what we're all hoping he is. You can see, okay, this is going to be a little bit easier for me. You still got questions on the outside at corner, right? You're good in the slot. Your safeties are good. So, at least directly behind you, there's some questions outside. Can Zion stay healthy? Can he get back to the flashes we've seen and be consistent? And can Benjamin Morrison be the guy that should have been a top 10 pick in the draft, but slid because of injuries? Can he fix those hammies, and can he get on the field? And he progressed too. As the season went on, he started getting more playing time. You could see him kind of take the jump. Before, it was like, get him out of here. Why always get Dean back in there? Right? Dean's going to get hurt eventually. Get it better now than anything else. But all that looks intriguing, maybe. And plus, the draft is still to come. So maybe he's waiting to see what comes after the draft. Maybe there's a million things that could be going on. I don't think the Bucs are trying to price him out, though. I think generally, they want Lavonte back. And this move, this signing, while a good signing to, again, raise the floor, is what the Bucs done on defense all offseason. I don't think it's anything about we don't want Lavonte back. It's going to be under $3 million no matter what it is. That's not a
right. They wanted Mike Evans back. What do you make of the Mike Evans situation? Because much has been made. The fan base is up in arms. They say, well, look, Mike left, Logan Hall left, Jamel Dean left.
A lot of people wanted Logan Hall to leave. But
right. I mean, this is why the Bucs got rid of a lot of these players. They wanted Mike back. They were going to pay him more than San Francisco. And he decided, you know what? I'm going to go to San Francisco. I want to see something new. Booger McFarland of ESPN said sometimes when you're in a place for 12 years like a LeBron James, you just want to see something different. Is that how you viewed this situation in the first place with Evans?
Well, I mean, yeah, the Bucs offered him more money before anyone else offered him anything. So that offer that he ended up ultimately signed with, and other offers that are out there, were not in the same ballpark as the Bucs' first offer that they sent them. So it was clear that there was a commitment to bring him back. However, Mike wanted to change. He wanted something different, and you just mentioned a great name, LeBron James. That's Mike's guy. He'll take him over MJ. And even MJ ended up going and playing for a second team. Tom Brady, how he has firsthand knowledge of coming and winning a Super Bowl with another team. Yeah. Another guy who he really looked up to, Julio Jones, right? Julio Jones was on this team. They didn't win a Super Bowl, but he saw Julio take that path and jump to other teams. Antonio Brown, who he did win a Super Bowl with. Rob Gronkowski, who he did win a Super Bowl with. These are things that is legit. And he's seen this, and he's seen it over the league. And guys bounce and have Matt Stafford. And guys have success in other places. And he why not, right? I mean, It would have been nice. Why not? Go out there and another challenge. But it also says a lot that he went to a direct competitor, and also went there because he wants to win a Super Bowl in the same division as defending Super Bowl champs. And the team that finished in second place above you in the NFC West. So He went to the third place team, albeit they won like 12 games, 13 games, something stupid last year. That's just how stacked that division was. That even winning 12 games, they finished third and had to be the second wild card in the division. So I want to win a Super Bowl. Now, don't get me wrong. I think there's going to be an ample opportunity for San Francisco, if they can stay healthy, to go win a Super Bowl. And Mike Evans is going to get everything that he wants. Bona fide offensive coordinator, check. Kyle Shanahan, a team with Super Bowl aspirations. Well, they've been there twice in the last 10 years, and they've been knocking on the door, check. Targets, he's automatically wide receiver 1. And the last one, I can't even remember, but check. Maybe it was a challenge or something like that. All that checks. Organization's good, weather's good. You have that electric facility next to you with those hammies. We'll see how that plays out. But other than that, everything kind of checks all the boxes. And guess who played there? Who also changed teams several times in his career?
Jerry Rice
is his idol. Jerry Rice. So
Jerry Rice. Yeah,
it just made a lot of sense for him. And is it an indictment of where he thinks the Bucs are? Yeah, because if he thought he was the missing piece to re-sign in free agency for the Bucs to win a Super Bowl, then he would have re-signed with the Bucs to win a Super Bowl. So that does say an indictment. I don't think it's a Todd Bowles thing. That was shot down too by Jason Light. I don't think that has anything to do with it. It's more of just he wanted somewhere else. He wanted a better chance to win. Right now, he's chasing legacy. He's chasing stats. He's trying to move up in the record books.
Which the Bucs can't give him, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, because they have Emeka Egbuka, they have Jalen McMillan, they have Chris Godwin.
Even if they didn't have, that's just the way the offense operates. It's find the open man and move the chains. There's other teams that goes through a wide receiver and go look at. And it's not a fair assessment, but look at the Rams, who've had Puka and Cooper and now Lavonte Adams. They've got the guys, but the Bucs have the guys too. But it's the same thing as last year and the year before that, especially the year before that with Cohen. If Godwin doesn't go down, he's outpacing Evans like crazy. And Godwin and Evans had to get the 1,000 yards in the last play of the game. Yes. Now, maybe that would have opened more things up because Godwin would have been almost a focal point because of the role that he was in. And they're going to get back to this type of offense, which I think was part of the selling point. Hey, you're going to be a featured part. He's a players over plays guys. With all the attention that they're going to give the slot, you're going to have a lot. They're not going to be able to double you and double the slot, because if they do that, then now we can attack everywhere else on one-on-one matchups. And you give us Jalen McMillan one-on-one, we're going to take it. You give us Tez one-on-one, you give us Bucky underneath one-on-one. We're going to take those matchups all day and move the chains. Sure. So there's an appeal to that for Mike too, I think. And that's going to open stuff up. And we started to see it. Remember, he started off slow. Godwin started fast, and then Evans started to pick up because it started to open up things for him, because they couldn't divert all their attention to covering Mike because Godwin was murdering people underneath. So
especially on third down, that's Mr. Third Down himself. I got JC Allen of X here, sick podcast.
No longer.
Is it Parlay? Yeah,
Parlay. Yeah,
part of Parlay. You're doing great, my friend. Yeah, absolutely. Keep it rolling. And we're on the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter, giving you something to think about. Can we put these narratives to bed? Do you think this is a rebuild? Do you think this is a tank job by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Because the more people say that, and I say, okay, if they were going to rebuild or if they're going to tank, why not just get rid of everybody? Get rid of Todd Bowles, get rid of Vita Vea and Chris Godwin, and start cutting deals like the Miami Dolphins are doing and take the cap hit. Do you feel like this is a rebuild or a tank job by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Yes or no? Why or why not?
No. Asterisks. I don't think it's a tank job by the Buccaneers. And I wrote an article about this. It's on X. Go check it out. You just go to my profile page, and then on this little scrolling bar where it says replies, whatever, articles tab, scroll down, you'll find it. It's not a tank job, but they have positioned themselves to tear the whole thing down next season if they want to.
Right.
You look at the situation already coming up with free agents. Baker Mayfield headlines the list. Vita Vea, Yaya Diaby, Cody Moe, Chase McLaughlin, Servante Dennis, who we've been talking about, and multiple Payne Durham and other guys as well from that draft class and from that free agency class. Not to mention all the one-year deals you signed. Guys like Ashawn Robinson and AQ Muhammad and the Noteboom, the linebacker here, And you can get out of those deals that the guys you signed with Kenny Gainwell and Alex Anzalone pretty easily too, if you really wanted to next year with minimal dead money and cap. Same can be said about guys who are signed for next year. Antoine Winfield Jr., Chris Godwin. Those guys no longer have guaranteed money on their contract. So you can move those guys next year, whether that's release, trade, whatever you want to do. And you can move off of those guys as well. And then you look at the situation where with Todd Bowles, he's coming on a hot seat. So if the Bucs aren't competitive, if they don't win, the Glazers could just look at this thing and be like, we're not going to invest $50 to $60 million in Baker Mayfield or $40 million, whatever it's going to take if he has a bad season. We're not going to invest in bringing Vita Vea back, and we can't bring Cody Malk and Yaya and this guy back, and Chase McLaughlin back and Vita Vea. Like, there's difficult choices are going to have to be made no matter what next year.
Yeah.
But if this season does not go the way they want it to go or hope it goes, yeah, they can absolutely say we're not re-signing any of these guys.
Yep.
Or we're getting rid of these veteran guys. Anthony Nelson's a free agent. Like, we're not bringing those guys back. We're not bringing Baker back. Depends on how bad they tank the bed. Not like tank, like they're not tanking. But
not like an NBA team that tanks.
Right. But like how bad they are. They got a high draft pick, and this is supposed to be the lottery of quarterbacks next year. People are coming out saying that there could be as many as 10 first-round quarterbacks. 6 guys are legit guys. 4 guys are potential all-pros. Like, maybe you look at that, and even I just put out a piece too, and it was about Jason Light. It came out yesterday or today. He was talking about rewarding his philosophy: draft, develop, reward. And he's talking about, you look at some of these other teams who are aggressive in free agency. Well, they don't have. They have a rookie quarterback on a rookie minimum contract, on a rookie contract. They don't have to pay the quarterback contract. And the Bucs don't really, they're pretty good with their contract at $33 million for Baker. But it just goes to show you that's something that he voluntarily talked about when it comes to the splash signings that everyone wants to see. Sometimes signing those own guys. And that's where the Glazers, like, if they do well next year, the Glazers like to reward their own, and they'll go over their cash spending that they normally typically do to bring back their guys. So like Cody, great guys, players. They have good seasons, and they do good next year, and they're competitive. And I don't think you need to see them win the Super Bowl or to make it to the NFC Championship game, but to be either win a first round playoff game or be competitive in it and get about 10 wins, improve on that. If they see that, then that gives them more reason to be like, all right, let's pay Baker the $50 million. Let's pay Yaya and Cody the $20 million each, and let's work out something to bring Vita Vea back and the heart and soul. Like, that gets a lot easier for the Glazers to swallow. You're still not going to see splashy moves if that's the case. But it's also why Light relies on the draft so much, because the Glazers will show a little bit more willingness to pay and give more money of that cash that they allow Jason Light to work with to keep guys that they drafted, developed, and now they want to reward.
It's kind of like Rich McKay back in the day. Rich McKay wasn't a guy who went outside. You went out and got Bert Emanuel in the trade. You went out and got Keyshawn.
He's under the Glazers too, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's probably the same restrictions.
You sign your own players. You sign a Sapp. You sign a Brooks. I know a lot of fans didn't necessarily like that, and the Bucs have gone out before the organization, and it necessarily hasn't worked out. And to a certain degree, it kind of worked out with Tom Brady. That was kind of a good signing there, I would say. JPP with the trade, going after Gronk, going after AB and Leonard Fournette. I want to throw this question out there, and then I want to get back to Jason Light and some of his comments he had recently, because I think he's kind of changed a little focus here. Maybe you correct me on this, but is there a chance the Bucs sign Joey Bosa, says Jeff here? Because that's been talked about, of course. Connect the dots season, the defensive line coach there in West. Maybe he knows something. You get Bosa for cheap. Are they going after him, or once again, are they strictly focusing in on the draft at this point? You already got Muhammad for $6 million. Of course, you got this kid, David Walker, who we don't know about, but they got a lot of high expectations, and you go up 15 or you go later on for an edge rusher. Could you see a Bosa being signed at a cheaper rate, or do you think the Bucs are done at this point when it comes to free agency?
Yeah, I think they're probably done. As far as Joey Bosa, cheap Joey Bosa deal is still going to be like $6-7 million. It's not going to be like the veteran minimum for Joey Bosa. I've been seeing a lot of chatter about him going out to San Francisco, so maybe that. But no, if the Bucs make any moves in free agency before the draft, it's going to be in the secondary, whether that's a safety or a corner or both. They desperately need a veteran cornerback in that room. Because right now your depth is literally Zion McCollum, Benjamin Morrison, Jacob Parrish, who can play outside, but you want to be your nickel, and everyone's favorite cornerback, Josh Hayes. Demarius Randall, too, if you know who that is.
Right.
Do some research. He's a slot guy pretty much. So
True.
non-existent. And then if you look at the safety room, too, you've got Antoine and Tyke and 3 undrafted free agents. And they really like what they saw from J.J. Roberts last year, who was an undrafted free agent they signed. They had a draftable grade on him. He was one of my best fits for the Bucs in the 7th round, and they ended up getting him as an undrafted free agent. They really liked him, and he looked really good in the preseason and a half he played before he got injured for the season. And they like Rashad Wisdom and Marcus Banks to an extent too. So, but they're undrafted guys, so you need someone that can play. With Christian Izzy gone, that was your backup safety / nickel corner in a pinch against Washington 2 years ago. But they need somebody back there. So both spots I feel like need a veteran, whether that happens before the draft or after the draft, before training camp, during training camp. I expect to see movement at those positions as far as free agency and potentially as far as the draft too.
Last question here. I get you out of here. Appreciate the time as always, Mr. JC Allen. Light had this to say: we've never said that we don't want those kind of players. Okay. So, we stressed high character, football character, but that doesn't mean we don't want some nasty assholes. I got a chance to say asshole here on the sports web when they get on the field. But when we had a chance to get guys like Anzalone also in camp, to get those kind of guys, the energy they have, A'Shawn Robinson, Muhammad in the building, it definitely raised the level of intensity. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I think because they definitely are nasty, pricks. So I'm looking forward to that. It was a bonus. We have a little bit of concerted effort to try to find the right blend of high character when it comes to team and being teammates and football character, but also edgy. Now we've heard about I am that man moniker when it comes to, and we've heard from Jason Light saying, I won't draft a D-bag. I won't draft an asshole. I said it again, and that's okay. Here on a Monday night, because that's how I feel. But listen, this has kind of changed from his mindset, right? I mean, he kind of said, well, we never said we wouldn't do this, but we wanted an edge. It seems like they made a concerted effort to get nastier because, once again, all the people getting up in arms, getting upset about Logan Hall leaving, he's not a guy that's nasty enough. He also contributed to that team that was 8-9. Jamel Dean, 8-9. The guy's still falling down. He's recreating that commercial. I've fallen and I can't get up. Brandon Ayuk is still running past him for 75 yards in San Francisco. Tet McMillan is running past him before halftime. People are like, oh my God, they're getting rid of all these players. They're getting rid of players that contributed to the 8-9 team. What are you talking about? So go ahead and throw it out there, this idea that kind of Jason Light, Todd Bowles have kind of changed their mindset on getting edgier players, nastier players, more aggressive type players, right?
Yeah, I mean, I love Jamel. He's my wife's favorite player. I love Logan. He came out and did some stuff with my son at his football game. But, I wouldn't say they were nasty pricks by any measure. Super nice guys, super talented guys. And you saw Logan just continue to get better and better as the years went on. And 5.5 sacks in 2024. And you could see his ability to shed blockers and pressures. He had the most pressures he had in his career too. So he got better, and Jamel was, you guys can say whatever you want in the comments. I'm reading you. I see you, Brian Dermont. I see you. But Jamel Dean was one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL when healthy and when playing press man coverage. You don't have to ask me. You can look it up. The stats don't lie. He was incredible, and he was off to an incredible start of the season before he got injured. And that was a case of Dean. He just could not stay healthy. But again, great players, or in Dean's case, a great player when healthy and when playing in a scheme that suited him. And an ascending player, Logan Hall, I don't think he's reached his full potential yet. But not nasty guys. A'Shawn Robinson, did you watch that presser?
I did. I mean, the guy talked about how he got picked on as a kid. I mean, I can definitely relate because, this is my inspiration of doing this show. I got picked on as a kid because I was a Bucs fan. And then I said, you know what, one day And I was talking about it. Somebody
2
burned
Super Bowls later.
Yeah, I burned a hole in my jacket. I was looking for that person the time they won the first Super Bowl.
When was the last time the Dolphins were won a playoff game? Like,
right, exactly.
Right.
Right. So you get that inspiration, and I love to hear that he has that chip on his shoulder, and that has absolutely made him more focused and more aggressive and to the point of attack of trying to help out of Vita Vea. So I like hearing that motivation. I like hearing that chip on his shoulder, and I think that helps. And then on top of it, he gets to terrorize his former team twice a year.
Yep.
And then
after they cut him.
Right.
After they cut him.
So I mean,
and gave that money to somebody else.
Right. Exactly.
And then you add in Alex Anzalone too. He's a physical guy. He's good in coverage, but he comes down. I mean, he'll get his nose dirty in the run game. He's physical. And then AQ Muhammad. He's just that relentless kind of physical. He's going to batter you. And you saw the success he had finally breaking through in a role that was designed for him. And we'll see if he can replicate that in maybe in a role that asks for more snaps. We'll see what the Bucs do in the draft and see if there's an addition there. But those 3 players, there was an immediate, and now you add in Rozeboom, another aggressive downhill type of guy. You give those. That's why Josiah Trotter. Everyone's like, oh, Josiah Trotter, the rookie from or potential rookie from Missouri. He's like, oh, he can't cover. I don't want Josiah Trotter, but to me, like it still seems like with Rozeboom and with the signings again with the physicality, he's still looking for a guy who can bring that 2-down thump,
right?
And be that aggressor and be that guy who can come in on a blitz and terrorize. I think he's looking for that still. We'll see if he can find one in this draft. We'll see if he still thinks Servassier Dennis can be that guy and utilize in that role going forward. So. But that's the goal, and we'll see if that continues through here. Bly has been vocal. He's like, I don't want Boy Scouts. I just want good teammates who are going to work and not pout when things don't go our way. Or, there's a lot of guys in that locker room that have come from losing organizations. And when the going gets tough, the mind gets going. And if you weren't in this locker room the last 3 seasons, it's hard to understand that, hey, guys, it doesn't matter. Like, we've done this 3-4 seasons in a row. Like, we're gonna be fine. We'll win the NFC South. Like, we just gotta, and maybe some of the guys just didn't buy into that mentality and just kind of checked out. Guys who have known nothing but really kind of losing their career. So I don't know. I think getting those guys who aren't going to do that, I think getting the mentals right was a big focus of this. They just want guys who love football, who want to go out there, terrorize other people, in an AQ, in an Anzalone, and especially in an Ashawn Robinson, and just love to play football. Guys who want to be here. Those guys Anzalone wanted to be here. He wanted
to play for Todd Bowles' defense. They're playing out there in the league. He took less money. He wanted to be, and I know the Bucs fan be, 3rd and 28, and that's the reason why Evans left, and there's no players around the National Football League that want to play for this team. And it's nonsense. It's complete nonsense because Todd Bowles is a player's coach. Again, is he the greatest coach of all time? No, he has his faults, but to sit here and say, he's the worst coach of all time and there's no players that want to play for him. Lavonte David said that if Todd Bowles was not retained, he wouldn't have came back. They would have no chance of retaining a Lavonte David. So if a Hall of Fame player like that, and we assume that Lavonte David's going to be a Hall of Famer, right? He's going to be a Hall of Famer, no doubt.
He should be.
If a Hall of Fame player comes out and says,
I'm not first ballot.
Right. Well, but you look at the numbers.
Nobody is now.
Nobody is. Bill Belichick, nobody. Tom Brady, it's going to affect everybody. I don't believe that at all. If that affects Tom Brady, then the whole voting process needs to be overhauled at this point. Real quick, 15. Edge rusher, who's your guy? Mesidor's been mentioned, 25 years old. Booger said, you take him. Even though he's 25, you get 5 or 6 good years out of him.
Injury, not the most athletic profile, but I'll tell you what, that's where I'm leaning. That's where I'm leaning right now. Is the key message over someone like Cassius Howell, over someone like CJ Allen. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if Vega Ione, the guard, was taken, and don't be surprised either if someone falls like a Jordan Tyson or a Carnell Tate falls to 15. Don't be surprised if they go back-to-back first-round wide receivers. Don't be surprised if they take one on day 2. I'm telling you right now,
Yeah.
You can be mad. You can be mad all you want, but don't be surprised. I'm just telling you that right now. I know I see T-Town saying 25. Hell nah. But think about it. 25, right. So as an investment, he's hitting his second contract when he's 30. Not something that's ideal, right?
Yeah.
But he's also a guy who can come in and play right away. He's NFL ready. His body's NFL ready, and he's going to give you snaps. And if you're Todd Bowles in a prove-it year, and you're Jason Light not wanting to have to tear this thing down because the orders come from above, and your job might be at stake too, you get the guy who can play right away or the guy who can improve your team. And if you can improve your team with a Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson at the X and say, screw it, we're just going to score everybody. Or last year was obnoxious. Brent Betterson becomes the best interior backup in the league that can play center in both guard spots, and you plug in the guard there. 15 is going to be – it's going to be area – there's not a lot there. Like, it's not – this is a draft that's maybe 11 first-round grades. The rest of them are all second. From, like, pick 12 to pick, I would say 60-something, almost 70, like a lot of the same guys. And it's a lot of what are you looking for? It's a lot of what's your spice? Like, what kind of pass rusher do you want? What kind of linebacker? Because we got thumpers, we got coverage guys. What kind of wide receiver do you want? What kind of even corners and safeties? And there's a lot of pick your poison here. Defensive tackle especially is a deep class, but not deep like across the board. It's like it's got some good nose tackles and some good 3-techs, and like it's a pick your poison what you want. So there's going to be I don't picture a lot of teams moving back up on the board because of that. After around pick 10, I think 15 is a great spot for the Bucs because it's right before the Jets, and Ty Simpson's getting a lot of love right now. I don't know if that boosts him up to top 10, but if you're the Steelers or you're the Cardinals or you're the Browns and you want to jump the Jets for Ty Simpson, well, now that's an attractive spot. So, and the Cardinals would not be great because you'd be dropping in the second round, but you pick up a first-round pick next year and probably a third-round pick this year to do that. So you'd be kind of stacked within the top 100. You wouldn't have that first round, but I just told you, top of the second round versus 15 is just similarly about the same. It's just kind of what's your spice. So they could do that. The Browns are at 24, I think, and the Steelers are at 21. You know, all of them would require different draft capital according to whatever. But if you've got all three of those teams trying to get up to you, bidding war starts, and you can get a pretty good offer there. So
it's like one of those quarterbacks. Listen, let one of those quarterbacks come up and have Sonny Styles fall down to the Bucs, or have them have the trade up for a couple spots. But I could see likely, like you just said, them trading down or just standing pat there at 15 and taking the best edge rusher, the best player on the board. Please tell me Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end. I get it. He's a beast. It adds to your offense. I don't want it. All right.
He's not a generational tight end like people are. He's maybe the best move tight end in this class, but I wouldn't say he's the best complete tight end in this class. And there's guys with upside that could be better than him.
Yeah.
I think they'd rather go wide receiver there if one of those guys fall than a Kenyon Sadiq. Yeah, I don't see it. I think there's other guys you can get later down the line. Oscar Delp in the fourth round, maybe fifth, but I mean he's probably up to fourth now. A guy like Sam Roush, I think they would feel really good about as well. They have some interest in him.
Yeah.
There's some late round guys. I mean, you don't really need that. It'd be nice to have a move tight end to add, and maybe Devin Culp can develop there. But we'll see how it goes. I love these people talking about draft picks or busts in the chat. And, like, what's your definition of a bust? Because he said Jamel Dean was a bust, and, like, you got 2 contracts out of Jamel Dean. Like, that's not a bust. Like, because he's not an all-pro. Like,
right. Carlton Davis was what, a second-round pick? He helped you win a Super Bowl. I get it. Right. You know, Denver White.
What's your constitution? Do they have to be an all-pro or a Pro Bowl to be not a bust? Or, like, can they – because if you get serviceable, let alone starter snaps, you got to figure in draft position too, buddy. Like, Jamel Dean was a third-round pick. Like, for what he was, like, he developed and he was great. SMB, like, for what he was, he got a second contract somewhere. Carlton Davis is on his third contract. Like, Chris Braswell, you want to call a bust. Ricky Aguayo, yes. JTS, yes. First-round pick. Logan Hall, 33rd overall pick, yes. You can say, I wouldn't say he's a bust. Did he pan out? Not the way we want. No, probably not. But still a starter for 3 years in the league. You know, like I don't think he's necessarily a bust. JTS maybe so, but he was always a projection too. Vernon Hargraves, bust.
Yes.
OJ Howard, bust. Like, there's some bust for you.
That's
Ronald
what
Jones, bust.
OJ Howard, bust. Yes, right there.
Yeah,
That's
like there's some bust for you guys. You want to?
Yes.
What was the other guy? The other cornerback you guys took? Kyle Trask. Yeah, second-round quarterback, bust. Braswell going to be a bust. Barton way too early on him. You can't judge him after last year. Dude started 3 games at left tackle to start the season, and then had everyone around him go down due to injury. It was him and freaking Charlie Heck and Dan Feeney and Michael Jordan and Luke Haggard, and like, what are you doing? Like, give him another year, all right?
Thank you.
Settle in.
See, this is why I like having you on the show.
Right from the beginning.
Because these fans are all about it, like, bust. This guy's a bust. Let's turn the page. Let's rebuild. And I'm like,
White wasn't a bust. I mean, maybe he was a bust, but no, Devin White wasn't a bust. Was he what you wanted out of 5th overall pick? No, but he wasn't a bust. Jamarcus Russell was a bust. Like, that's a bust. Like,
yes. Johnny
Devin White was
Manziel.
still playing last year. Devin White had 155, 6,000 tackles last year. He's the best linebacker in the league. Look at the tackles. Just look at the tackles. That's all you got to say. Rozeboom had 120-something. Look at the tackles. He's the next pariah.
Hopefully it's not the 10 yards down the field.
Hall wasn't even a 3-tech. He was a 5-tech that kicked insides. Was he soft? Maybe.
I love
these, but that's why they brought in Ashawn Robinson, and he's not here. He also got paid a pretty time too. Kyle Trask.
Right. Well, there you go.
They're going to bring him back to be the backup.
The Trask force is out in full force at this point with the Gator fans wanting him, saying Trask beat out Baker Mayfield. He should have been the starting quarterback in 2023.
No. I will say, Vern Tonelli or whatever who's out there with the Trask played better than Baker. There was times where Trask was like, maybe Trask got this. Like, there was a whole week where you're like,
right.
Maybe Baker is washed. Like, right? And then like something snapped in Baker, and he's like, and he just started like going crazy.
Right. And then Trask has the
see.
opportunity again to win the starting job there when Baker's hurt, or win at least the backup job. And he looks like absolute garbage. And they signed Teddy Bridgewater off the street.
You should have kept Trask, bro. You should have kept Trask. They should have kept Trask once he almost killed Jalen McMillan and be like,
I'll take Josh Johnson at this point. One of the first.
Oh my God, he can move the ball probably.
I mean, he's got
Bridgewater looking like Cam Newton out here with the Patriots.
30 teams he's on right now. All right, Josh. All right. Appreciate you, JC. Go ahead and promote yourself here on the Evolution.
Yeah. JC on NFL. There's a link on X, on Twitter. I am on Facebook, but I won't accept your friend request because I don't do anything there. So don't add me. But add me on X. And if you're not on X, you're watching on Facebook, like, oh, I don't want X. Don't add anybody else. Just add me. I'm your one-stop shop for Buccaneers. You can add the Bucs page. You can add me. You're going to get all the news. You're going to get all the articles right there. You can click it, read it, keep scrolling. You don't got to go to a link and ads, and halfway through the article, another ad pops up. It's all right there. It's easily accessible, and X is where news happens. So check that out. I'm getting played off. So check out all my work over there. I'm on the Pirate Parlay podcast every Wednesday at 7 p.m. You can catch me live. I'm popping up here. I'm popping up there. I'm everywhere. Local podcasts and stuff like that around the Bucs here on the Sports Web, where I got my start. You didn't mention that in the opening. I got my start right here.
He gets his start right here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. No matter if he's on Sports Illustrated or Pewter Report, he started out right here. Not the Pirate Parlay podcast, not X, right here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. How many years ago? Is the anniversary already? It's coming up, isn't it?
It's already came and passed. Yeah, Tom Brady was the anniversary.
Tom Brady.
Yeah. Well, technically, that was my first call-in.
Yes.
After the draft would be when I was actually like, hey, do you want to come on as a guest?
Yes.
And I was like, I'm going to call in anyways.
So might as well call as a guest, call in,
you know what it was? It was, I wanted the Patriots to draft Jalen Hurts. And we were doing the Sports Web mock draft where we all went around, and I was a Patriots fan, so I took the Patriots. 21 came to me, and everyone was like, you're crazy. That's way too early. Super Bowl MVP, too early. Pats would have been fixed if they took him instead of having to deal with Cam Newton for another year. But I came prepared. I'll tell you that. I came prepared. I came to talk. Everyone was like, yeah, we're going to take Schmo from
like this. And I'm like, okay, why did you take him? I don't know. He looked good in the uniform, and he's got like 20 touchdowns and like 6 interceptions.
Like, here's how he fits. Here's his stats from last year. Here's the connections to Foxborough. I was like, bring it here. And then you guys, you want to come on? And then I was like, yeah, sure. And then like, have you done any writing? I was like, I've never done any writing. And they're like, you want to try? I was like, yeah, sure. And then 2 months later, like, hey, do you want your own podcast? I was like, hell, why not? Let's go. And it was full steam from there. And I've slowed down at parts, but never stopped. And I won't stop. And I'm full steam ahead. Killing it right now on X. I've got over 2 point something million impressions.
Amazing.
Over the last 3 weeks. So I'm crushing it. So go check it out. Even if you don't want to like hang out on X, you can mute everything and mute whatever words you want and just come show me some love.
Come hang out. Come hang out with JC Allen there.
Yeah. We do spaces sometimes, so you get to come up and just talk. Like this show, call in, jump on the space. Yeah, it's a great time.
They want to call in. They're like calling in. They're saying,
I know. They want it. Someone probably wants to yell at me. If someone calls me out, I'll hop back on this and I'll come for your throat. You want to come at me?
We need to have you on one night for you so you could just talk some of these people off the ledge because they're like, we want to rebuild. We want a new quarterback. We want a rookie quarterback. We want all new coaches. And I'm like, how could you want that when you can't even deal with barely winning the NFC South? You're upset about being eliminated in the first round. Are you serious? Like, again, as a old school Bucs fans would have loved to just make the playoffs. And I get it. The expectations have been raised, but seriously, you want to go through a rebuild? You want to be the Jets or Cleveland here?
Because it's difficult, Peter. And this is what I've come to notice. And I've come to realize myself. And it's honestly sad. Peter, we're not fans anymore. Me and you aren't fans like we were. We'll never be that way. We've seen how our food is made. I put something up on X. It was right around free agency. And it was when I was living in New England. I was still am a big Pats fan, but I was like a diehard Pat. I was in the draft. I was like you guys, like where can I find content? Anywhere I could absorb. And it wasn't easily accessible because I'm old. So I have to like get the Patriot Weekly magazine and stuff like that. I'm getting newspapers. Like it was difficult. But anyways, so like I found these tweets on Facebook and it was like the Patriots are it was the OC Choppers guy. I don't know if you guys remember that old school meme. It was the OC Choppers guy, and him and his dad were yelling. He's like, the Patriots aren't doing anything. He's like, get me AJ Green. And the dad's like, I don't even know if he's available. He's like, give me Jordy Nelson. And it was like, and then I followed up on a Facebook post. I was like, glad to see the Patriots are signing all their special teamers and letting everybody else walk in free agency. Hashtag in Bill we trust ? Emoji thinking. I was like, that was just like you. I was just like you. Yep. Unfortunately, I can't live there anymore. I know too much.
Yep.
But other sports I can. Other sports I can to an extent. But the fanaticism is real. That's why they're called fan is short for fanatic. And
I love them. I love them. It's so negative. The season hasn't even started yet, and you guys think the season's over with. It's like,
you know what? Either Super Bowl or shit. Pardon my language. Works best. Mediocre, no one cares.
Nothing.
If it's doom or gloom, like 8-9, 9-8, the Glazers will resign Baker Mayfield.
I don't want the 8. I don't want 9 wins. I don't want 10 wins. I don't want to win the NFC South. It's the worst division in football. You still have to win.
It's funny though, because like if I was just like on the radio or something like that, I'd just validate everybody. Be like, you're right. This is Lavonte David's leaving. They're gonna finish 8-9. They're gonna Bowles is gone. GM is gone, and everyone's like, thank you for validating how I feel.
That's how I feel.
BS, it's not how I feel, but that's what people want. I just want a new GM. He just keep putting Realtor David just wants a new GM, and he wants Mac Jones as the backup quarterback.
Listen, it's Realtor David Zuzman, who, the Zuzman from a Euro trip, by the way. I think he took that name. I don't think that's
he's on X. I see him all the time.
Yes, he hates
Jason on one of my things, and I was going to respond to it, and then I saw a parody account, and I was like, you're not going to get
And then we got Brent O'Neill, who hates Baker Mayfield. We got Alex, who hates Tom Bowles. We got Mike DeRoche from Canada. I think he hates me because he said the show is boring.
Someone called me a clown earlier. I forgot. Let me go back up and find it. Just to we're giving everybody a shout out. Let's give everybody a shout out.
This is what we do here. And when we said off here.
Oh, Mike DeRoche. He called me a goof. He's a goof, Alan. Maybe. I don't know.
I think he was calling me a goof. I don't think he likes me right now because he said you always talk about the same stuff. And I'm like, Mike, what do you want to talk about? And he's like, well, let's talk about the NHL besides the Tampa Bay Lightning. I said, yeah, that'll go over well with the Tampa Bay. I mean, they love to talk about Boston Bruins hockey. Let's talk about
we got Tim Thomas right there. I I got pasta right there, some bird dry. What do you want?
That is where it's at, right there.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
There you go. Let's just switch it up. We'll talk Chicago, Boston. Why even talk Tampa Bay at this point? Let's just talk baseball, but we'll not talk about the Tampa Bay Rays or the Lightning.
How many people are tuning out right now? Seeing me?
Well, we got 81 people watching with you, though. There's actually more people tuning in, so maybe this is going to work. Maybe we just talk about
the Bruins are the best. I get it. You guys won some Stanley Cups, right? But I get it. Y'all won some Stanley Cups in a row, but we original six, man. We got more cups than you anyways. We got more guys. If it wasn't for us and our player, your guys, your Lightning, wouldn't even be where they are. Who put your team together? Frickin' Bruins, great. Esposito did it. All right? So don't tell me. All right? The Bruins are better than the Lightning. They'll always be. Doesn't matter what the year in the year basis goes. Bruins are better than the Lightning. And if you don't like that, you can stay tuned because we got more of that coming up.
There you go. That's what we need to do. We just need to be like that. We'll talk about other teams.
I will say, if you can see the hat, I have made my selection. I know.
Oh, that's good. It's about time. By the way, here's your intro to USF Bulls because we'll be covering him on the sports web during the season here when it comes to football. Love to cover more basketball. Their coach now is in Providence. By the way, somebody mentioned that he looks like Ming the Merciless, and I can't get it out of my mind now. If you look at that, but here's your USF. A lot of Bulls fans right now feel like the job that he did, he is Ming the Merciless because he had again another coach leaving this program, and it just comes down to. And I love what they're doing over there with Derek Brooks and, of course, Rob Higgins. Talked to them personally. I know Higgins is from here. They're going to get it together, and eventually they're going to join a big conference. But it's so disappointing to lose coaches, continue to lose coaches to, bigger teams, bigger programs. But congratulations. Welcome to USF being a USF Bull at this point, JCA. And
it's not something we care about up north. Unless you're a hockey guy and you care about BU and BC and some of those, we don't care about the Eagles. No one cares about the BC Eagles. No one cares about the UMass Minutemen. We could give two craps about that. The Patriots win games, and especially at the time I was growing up, they were crushing it. So no one really cared about the BC Eagles at all. So when I came down here, the first question is, "Oh, who's your team?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? I don't have a college team. What do you mean?"
Florida, as a Florida State, is at Miami. People go USF. What is that?
I almost went with a chomp. Please don't. But it was my son. He chose FSU. I mean USF, not FSU. You chose USF, so that's what we're rocking with. One of my buddies works over there, and let me tell you, I think this football team is going to be good next year under Brian. I've got to go to spring training practice, their first one, and even for their first one, man, they were crisp. So I think there should be a lot of buzz around this USF program because they're going to be doing some good things. And obviously, we saw what the basketball team did. Obviously, the cheer team is just phenomenal. Like if you're a cheerleader anywhere in the country, or you're trying to come to USF because all they do is win national championships. There's a lot of stuff going on there. A lot of good stuff going on there. New stadium should be up in a year or so. It looks good. The construction's right behind the practice facility, so it's going to be walk out the practice facility, walk into the stadium. It's going to be good for them. Nice setup. I'm excited about the direction they're headed.
I am too. And a lot of people, again, just got to be more optimistic about it. I get it. Everybody's doom and gloom with the Bucs and the Lightning right now, although they're doing well. The Tampa Bay Rays haven't even started their season. They're going to be in last place. It's played out, Tampa Bay sports fans, guys. It's played out. Stop being so, pessimistic. Let's see how it plays out. Let's have the season start before we say the season's over with.
Yeah, because this is a big media market now. It's the 11th media market in the country. And no one wants to put depressing people on here.
Depressing. All right, JC, appreciate the time as always. Go ahead and promote yourself, my friend.
Yeah, I'll do it again. JC on NFL on X. All of my written content is there. Formerly of Sports Illustrated, formerly of Pewter Report, formerly of Bucs Report, formerly of Pewter Plank. I'm doing my own thing now on X, but I've got some things cooking in the system. All my articles are there. Just go to my profile, the articles tab right there. You can see everything. I've got 2 up today. Updated combine tracker, updated free agency tracker, all that stuff and more. Go in depth on, is this a rebuild year? Baker Mayfield a lot at stake coming up this the new signings they signed, go in-depth stats, everything you need to know about the new guys they brought in. All that right at the touch of your fingertips. Turn your notifications on. Anytime I post something, you'll get notified for there. Pirate Parlay podcast every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Live on X and on YouTube. You can check that out as well. We'll be talking Bucs. We usually have a guest on there. Depends on who it is. We're getting draft signs, so probably get some draft guests coming up in there to break down some of these selections for the Buccaneers come next month. That's the next phase in the offseason. And other than that, you can catch me popping up everywhere. Bucketeers, Sports Web, Real Bucs Talk everywhere and everywhere. And Spaces on Twitter. Thanks.
Awesome, man. Killing it as always. Always welcome here on the Evolution. Let's do the mock draft thing again. Let's go ahead and get more fans involved with it. Not just to draft the Buccaneers, but other teams. Let's make it fun. Let's do it again here because the draft is right around the corner. JC Allen, appreciate the time here on the Evolution, my friend. All right.
Always pleasure.
All right, good stuff there. Listen, we talked off air, and he was supposed to be like 20, 30 minutes, and it went an hour. Why? Because we just have a good time with this. We have a good time talking Bucs football, talking with you, answering your comments, taking your phone calls, which we will right now. Again, the phone lines are open, 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391. Promise I will not neglect you. I will get out to the comments. Facebook stars are open. YouTube super chats. If you love the content, give to the content. Let's open up the phone lines. Let's go out to Corey. Corey, welcome to the Evolution on a Monday night, my friend. How you doing?
Peter, what's up, man?
Man, just having a good time here on a Monday night here with JCA. It's killing it here, talking Bucs football, talking draft. This is my favorite part of the year for me. This is when the real football season starts. Of course, free agency, now the draft, and then after that, you got training camp. So. Yeah, man. What's up? What's up with you? What's on your mind?
Yeah, man. I was just looking at that new linebacker we signed from Carolina. What is Roseburg?
Yeah, Rozeboom. Yes, Rozeboom. Yes, not Roseburg.
I was looking at him, man. He played pretty good hook curl in the zone. And he get out there to the flats and everything. And I seen one play he hit the B gap pretty good. He looked like he'd be pretty good depth piece.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I think he's a sure tackler. He's not necessarily the best in coverage, but back-to-back 100-yard tackling seasons there comes from the Carolina Panthers, so he can victimize his team like Ashawn Robinson. And look, they got Devin Lloyd, and maybe they improved, but guess what? They lost two of their players there, and now both of those players have chips on their shoulder playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So let's see if the Bucs can use this to their advantage. Once again, aggressive, nasty physicality from some of these players they got in free agency. So I love this new attitude change that they've kind of adopted that Jason Light has talked about. And, I don't think he is the automatic answer to where Lavonte David's going to retire, because I still think David will fit on this team if he wants to be on this team. And I still think they will address it.
If you want to come back.
Yeah, of course. And if they want to, they're going to address the linebacking situation. It's not going to just be Anzalone and Rozeboom. They're going to go after, and Sebastian Dennis, they're going to go after other players. Just sit back, let Jason Light work, let Jason Light cook, if you will. What else, Corey?
Oh, no, man. I was just looking to listen to your homeboy, JC. I agree with some of the stuff. I disagree with a lot of stuff too, man.
Well, what do you disagree with? Go ahead.
Mesidor at 15? No, hell no, man.
Well, listen, Booger McFarland says, why not? People go, and I said, well, teams will shy away. Why? Because he's 25 years old. Well, you only get 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, but you see, y'all ain't looking what he had on the other side of him. See, y'all, you got to look at that.
Well, no, I mean, I've definitely looked at Bain Jr., but Bain Jr. could be falling down too because of his length of his arms. So right now, Mesidor could actually go higher, as crazy as it sounds.
All that length of arm crap. They said that about Gedeke, and look how Gedeke.
I mean, this is what scouts talk about. I like Mesidor. Booger's kind of convinced me on it. You're going to only get 5 or 6 years, but if you get 5 or 6 years, it's a lot better than 1 year. And look how dominant he was for the Miami Hurricanes, 12.5 sacks. I get it. He's got an injury, but he doesn't necessarily have to come in right away because you got Muhammad.
You got a tight end on the other side, or you got a running back got the chip. He one-on-one on his side, man.
Right. Well,
Ruben Bain was a beast.
You have to win your matchups. Mesidor is able to win his matchups. So, I mean, he's winning his matchups as long as you win those matchups. Again, nothing is guaranteed, right? They get the big-time Bucs to have those evaluations to where, a pass rusher, maybe he's successful in college. It doesn't necessarily transition over because, like Booger said, it's an art. There's an art to it. Just because you're bigger, stronger, and faster doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a great pass rusher. So we'll see how that all works out, how it all plays out, and how these pass rushers transition over. Bucs got a challenge. There's only been 6 players the last 10 years that have been double-digit sack artists. But again, you soften that with signing a Muhammad to a 1-year, $6 million deal. He's coming off 11 sacks. Can you duplicate that effort? Can you get both of those players to give you more up front? Hopefully you can. What else, Corey?
Hey, Peter, how you feel about this? How you feel that we just go ahead and get an X and say the hell with it? We just outscore people.
I say that you could go and get an X in the later rounds at this point. You don't need an X right now. I know a lot of people are saying you need an X, but there's offenses out there who don't necessarily have it.
Every receiver we got now is a slot, man.
Well, yeah. Again, Emeka Egbuka is going to be your number 1 at this point. You're going to have to figure this out, but they're definitely going to change their offense. There's offenses have done it before. The Texans, I think, are one of those. The Rams are one of those that don't necessarily have an X receiver. So it can be done. And again, this is what comes down to Zach Robinson being a guy that's called plays in the National Football League before, and he's had success, and he's under a Sean McVay and that coaching tree. So I trust that he'll be able to handle this. He won't be 2 or 3 years away like Josh Grizzard was last year, as Todd Bowles said in the offseason. And Todd Bowles won't have to help the offensive coordinator out. And most likely the offensive coordinator won't practice formations or game plans in practice and not use them during game time situations. So I think this offense is going to be improved. And listen, Ken Dilger said it, with all these offensive weapons and Cade Otton re-signed, this offense could be a top 10 unit. Look out, because everybody's sleeping on them, doom and gloom. Mike Evans leaves, but I'm going to tell you again, this offense actually may be better without Mike Evans.
I just like Mike in the red zone and things like that in the 50-50 ball. But hell, we played half the season without Mike anyway. Mike go pull a hamstring every year.
Right. There you go. All right.
But hey, this my last question. But
go for Peter. It. Go for it, man.
If Baker mess around and have a subpar year, do we finally draft a franchise quarterback in town?
I think it's certainly possible. You would definitely consider it. Again, where Baker Mayfield goes, this offense goes. If he struggles, then you're definitely going to have second thoughts about signing him to a big-time deal where, again, the market value is going to be $50, $60 million like Dak Prescott or some of the top quarterbacks in the league. So if he falls on his face, then don't be surprised if everyone is done at this juncture. Jason Light may make the football decisions. The Glazers may have him do that. But everybody else, they're going to clean house. And yeah, you're going to look at a quarterback. You want to look at that quarterback up there, and that's messing around right now for some reason. It's right up there. We're getting an edge rusher. You haven't got an edge rusher since Leroy Selman. Guess what? You haven't drafted a franchise young quarterback since Rams got you the NFC Championship game. I mean, that's
and
long.
He came from Grambling. He came from HBCU.
First round pick. I mean, he was the closest thing to a franchise quarterback. What else do you have? You traded for Jack Thompson. That didn't work out. You had Steve Young. You didn't have enough around him. Of course, he turned out to be a Hall of Famer. You drafted Vinny Testaverde. That didn't work out.
Trent Dilfer, he won him a bowl.
He won him a Super Bowl, but he wasn't a franchise quarterback. Josh Freeman, he had 1 year? He wasn't a franchise quarterback. I mean, Jameis Winston, he wasn't a franchise quarterback. Yeah, there's a reason why, this team is so good at getting veteran quarterbacks in the first place. They're not very good at developing a young quarterback. Now, it's not to say they won't do it. I'm just saying play the percentages at this point. And I would go with the veteran. I would hope Baker would be able to do what he's been able to do a couple years ago with the 41 touchdowns and, of course, cutting down on the interceptions. Corey, appreciate the call. Use the second one, my friend. Man. All right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it definitely would be. You're going to consider that at the end of the day. All right, let's go out to the comments here. We'll go out to Instagram Live. Nothing there. Let's go out to TikTok really quick. Let's see. To Dast Win, it's D. Hi, Christopher. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in there on TikTok. Part of the Carter Agency. Let's get out to Facebook and YouTube right here on Bread and Butter, or we'll wait and take our phone calls, guys. Stand by. Let's go out to Curtis. Curtis, welcome to the Evolution here on a Monday night, my friend. What's up?
Go Red Sox. No, let me stop messing
You
with Peter.
shut up and be quiet with that. Listen, a lot of people will say, you're boring because you don't talk enough Rays. And then when you talk Rays, we should talk Red Sox and other teams. And I would just say nobody gives a damn about talking about other teams besides Tampa Bay.
Hold on. Anybody who watches the sports web knows that we don't mind talking sports. It's not just about Tampa sports. We talk all sports.
Right.
We want to see good sports, but we live in Tampa. We want to support our local team the best way we can.
Exactly.
So anybody who has some feelings about that, you know where you can go. But anyway,
I mean, you could go to the next show that's on. Is there a show right now? Let me know if there's a show on right now. Let me see. Oh, hold on.
Nope, nobody.
Nothing. No, I mean, you can go. Listen, you can go. Listen, here's what you can do. You can turn on Fox Sports. You can turn on the radio station. You can listen to LA Sports. You can talk. You can listen to them talk about the NBA at nauseum, which gets tiring. You can listen to those guys talk. You can listen to ESPN Radio. They can also talk NBA or the Dallas Cowboys or stuff like that. Listen, this is the reason why I have this show in the first place, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't feel like Tampa Bay sports gets enough coverage. So when people say you're not talking about enough of the national sports, let those guys do it. Okay, we can do it, but we like to focus on Tampa Bay sports. And if you have a problem with that, whether you're in the United States, Canada, Costa Rica, love all you guys across the United States, you're Bucs fans, you're always welcome. But if you don't like it,
Peter, I was in the house going nuts the other night when Nebraska beat Vanderbilt the other night.
Right.
Because, I was born and raised in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm always going to be a Nebraska fan. I was in here going nuts the other night.
Yes.
Nuts. Yes. Absolutely nuts.
It's been a crazy tournament. It's been a crazy tournament. I thought the player for yesterday for Iowa should have been thrown out. And I have people calling me numb nuts on Facebook. That's always a good thing because they're Iowa fans, which I love. But it's
the greatest thing about sports is we never agree upon everything.
We don't have to always agree, and whatever. I get it. They're passionate about the Iowa Hawkeyes going to the Sweet 16 since 1999. Yes, go ahead.
I know the guy from the guy from Auburn. You don't like that guy, Falk?
I'm not a big fan of him. I'm not.
No, me neither. And do you see how he's just rising up the board right now?
Yeah, that's.
I seen somebody had him going 12 to Dallas.
Well, let him go to Dallas.
No, absolutely. But I have one question for you tonight.
Go for it.
One question.
Sure.
And I want all my people out here to answer this question too, if they can. If let's say, what's the guy from the linebacker from Ohio State, Styles?
Sonny Styles, yeah.
If him and Reuben Baines are on the board with the 11th pick, is on the board, do the Bucs trade up and take one of those players?
It's a great question. I mean, I wonder who they favor at this point. Who I would favor.
Because here's the thing. We can do all the mock drafts. We can do all the stuff we want to.
Sure.
But we never know how the board is going to fall.
I would say that's possible if there was like a big run on quarterbacks, but it's not a big quarterback draft. So I think, again.
No, but some idiot is always desperate for a quarterback.
Well, it's the Jets. I mean, it's the Jets. It's the Cleveland Browns. It's where quarterbacks go to die. I mean, this is where Bucs fans want to be. This is where they want to live. They want to live like the Jets. You want to fire a coach every 2 to 3 years. Get rid of the quarterback. Get rid of this guy. Ooh, exciting times, chaos. Ooh, we get a chance to talk about it on Facebook. No, that's not how, good organizations are ran.
Matter of fact, who even has the 11th pick?
I would have to check right now
because I know Dallas is at 12.
Yes.
And I know Kansas City's at 9.
Let's see here. Let me look here really quick. Our crack staff. Let's see, our production staff, the production staff of yours truly right here. Let's see. I don't have the draft order here. So.
Matter of fact, Washington's at 10.
Yes. I thought Washington was at 7.
I forgot who's at 11.
I thought Washington was at 7.
Oh, there's 7.
I'm looking at right now the order. Let's see here. Okay. Number 1, the Las Vegas Raiders, which is still weird. Right. The Jets just in the season at 2. Arizona Cardinals 3. Tennessee Titans 4. New York Football Giants 5, 6 Cleveland Browns, Washington 7. I was right about that. Saints. Okay. How about those stinking Saints? 8 when the Saints come marching in last place. 9 Kansas City Chiefs and Cincinnati Bengals at number 10. So there you go. So number 10.
So who's 11?
Let's see. Rest of it here. Well, you're killing me with this, man. I'm trying to look here. Okay.
Well,
11 Dolphins, Cowboys at 12, Rams
So-
at 13, 14 Ravens, and Bucs at 15. So there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see the Dolphins making. You know what? I can see Cincinnati.
I don't know what the
And
Dolphins
the
are doing.
Dolphins
Are they
making
drafting a
bonehead
quarterback
moves.
this year? They just signed Malik Willis, and they just took a $99 million cap hit. I got 99 problems, and a quarterback isn't one.
And hold on.
Yes.
Not only have they done that, they've traded their whole offense.
Yes. Yes.
They let
Jalen Waddle.
Tyreek Hill go. They
Yes.
just traded Jalen Waddle.
Yes.
Who does Malik Willis have to do anything with over there?
What a terrible situation for that young man, right? He finally gets an opportunity to be a starting quarterback, and they go, oh, we're going to get rid of all the weapons here so you can fail.
And Cincinnati had one of the worst passing defenses in the league.
Yes.
Now they could go. I mean, honestly,
They could go edge
Cincinnati's like
rusher.
Tampa. They could go anywhere on the defense.
They could go Folk.
Anywhere.
They could go Folk from Auburn. They could go Sonny Styles. They could go multiple positions. They need defense at this point.
Because they were also talking about Caleb Downs falling.
Well, yeah, that's true. There's some medicals out there that are not very good. So maybe he falls down. I don't know what the medicals are, but they're not good. They're not good if he's falling down. You wonder how far he'll fall.
And I love what you and JC both said. Listen, let me tell you something. I don't give a damn how short Ruben Bain's arms are.
Mm-hmm.
Production is production.
Right.
And this guy was playing at the highest level
Correct.
in college football.
Correct.
Okay, he's got a hell of a motor, and you can tell this guy, he just has it.
Yep.
He just has it in it.
There's some guys that are just football players. There's not a bad thing about that. Turn on the tape. Now, can it transition over? I'm looking at the body of work on tape. I like that more than somebody like you talked about, Falk, who's got a lot of potential, but the production is not there. It's not there.
But I'd rather take the 25-year-old kid and take him.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Because at the end of the day, we'll get a rookie contract out of him, which is what, 5 years?
Correct.
And I mean, I feel like we get another 3-4 years out of him. I mean, people still forgot. You got to remember, a lot of these guys didn't used to get drafted till they were 23, 24, 25 years old.
Correct. Yes.
It was just recently these guys started getting younger and younger every year.
Yep.
So these guys' bodies weren't even fully developed, and they were getting drafted into the NFL.
That's it.
So,
all right, Curtis.
I don't know, man. I can't wait for the draft. I think it's going to be super exciting for us this year.
It is opening day for you.
I also love going back to what you were saying about the aggression.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, when we were competitive and winning the Super Bowl a couple years ago, we had Ndamukong Suh.
Yes.
And you had people like JPP. And even though Devin White was an asshole, he was aggressive.
Yes, he was.
And even you had what was his name? Jordan Whitehead. Nobody wanted to come across the middle when Jordan Whitehead was
back knock your head off. You know, and again, you don't have to be a James Pierce. Don't get this misconstrued here, Bucs fans. As talented as James Pierce Jr. is on the field, he's a moron off of it, right? I don't even know if he's going to play, but that's the kind of player you don't want. And that's what you got to check out. Those are the red flags that these scouts and that this organization is checking out because you don't want to invest all that money and all that draft capital.
The guys that we did bring in, I love the guys we bring in because guess what? These guys have chips on their shoulders.
Right.
And you know what? That Bucs team that's still there from last year, you guys should have a chip on your shoulder.
I hope
because
so.
like you and JC said, we got so used to pulling it off at the end of the season. We thought we were going to just walk away with it again. No, you got to go out there and you got to play the effing game.
That's it. You got to play 4 quarters of a game. You got to execute. Even Todd Bowles talked about it at the beginning of the season. Even though they were 6-2, they weren't playing their best football. They were doing the right things in the 4th quarter. They were getting by, but it didn't happen in the second half. It was revealed, right? So,
absolutely.
All right, Curtis, appreciate the call as always, my friend.
Always, brother.
All right, use that second call if you want to, and I don't care if you talk about the Red Sox or not. I mean, again, you can talk about it. I mean, I never said you can't talk about your favorite football team. I mean, that has been so misconstrued on this show. Like it's only Bucs fans that are welcome. No, that's BS. I've never said that. What I said is that go with the flow of what my audience tells me. And what my audience tells me is they want to talk Bucs football. Look at all the comments. Look at all the phone calls over and over. I don't mind it. I love it. But again, there's constructive criticism out there on something that I'm not doing correctly, or you think I should do better. I will take that and I will put that in consideration. I've always done that. I've always been flexible. It's like, oh my God, you can't talk about this and I'll ban you from the show. My God, some of you guys have trolled me so hard sometimes. And it's just like, okay, I'll let you guys come back. You're cool. You know, we've been through the years together. I always say, if you don't agree with me, that's okay. We'll walk away and be friends. I'm not going to ban you unless you completely and totally disrespect me on the show. And even then, I kind of respect you for tuning into the show any way it goes. So open phone line, 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391. All right, what's good, Pete? We're back. Shout out to Bucs Nation. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Gary. Finally. Thank you, Gary. You're one of the newest web heads there on Facebook. I appreciate that. Christopher Cole right there, longtime web head. Evening, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to King Cook, another low-level signing today. We have to convince ourselves that it was a good signing. We'll see if that's a low-level signing. Guy had over 100 tackles. Again, it's not Devin Lloyd. It's not a slouch. Okay. Every Florida team out of the tournament in just 1 week. The Gators were out-coached and outplayed. And again, I'll go back to that situation. The guy who hit the big shot there, I can't think of his name right now, should have been thrown out of the game. And a lot of Iowa fans took exception to that. And it's the rule. And Seth Davis even put it out there. That's the rule. If that is the rule, somebody swings on you, you should be thrown out of the game. What's the conversation about? And this is where all this Pandora's box is opened up. Well, why did the ref not throw him out? Was he in on it? What was the score at that point? What was the score at the end of the game? These are the kind of things. You got to follow the rules. If that is the rule, if that is the letter of the law, my internet is not agreeing with me at all. I don't know why I keep on doing that. It's weird. Aloha, Peter H. Blake. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
Still got the light here. Still looking for a place. I will figure this situation out. But how cool is this? So again, that guy is from Oregon. He watches the show as I got it upside down, and he sends me something like that. Very cool right there. Go out to DJ UPS, Mr. Jay Pringle. He got this for me. Mike Evans signed. So we'll figure out how we can put that on there. All right, let's go out to Sun Devil Dave. All right, Sun Devil, go ahead, my friend.
Great job. Thank you for wasting my time. Goodbye forever.
Well, there you go. That's how you start the show. Go ahead.
Happy Monday, man.
Happy Monday, man.
I'm kind of like bummed out that all the Florida schools are out of the tournament. I thought
know.
one of them would make the Sweet 16.
I know, especially
Little bummed
USF.
out.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Little bummed out. I got a tie-in that Bobby Hurley might go to USF, and let me talk about this real quick. Randy Bennett took the job at Arizona State. He was at St. Mary's, kind of like a West Coast conference out in San Francisco area. He's got a record of 135-36 over the last 5 years, 5 tourneys in a row. Now, Hodgson, of course, left to go to Providence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brian Hodgson, the USF coach.
That's
went
correct.
To Providence.
Yes, he went to Providence. Yes.
So
he's a Friar
now there's
now.
a rumor, because I guess Hodgson and Hurley were at Buffalo back in 2013, 2014, that Hurley might come to USF. So
wow.
Just wanted to throw that out there. That'd be kind of cool.
We'll see. I think Rob Higgins will have an idea. It's disappointing to lose a coach like that who's done such a great job for USF in his first year, but it happens. It's going to happen, and hopefully USF is again, not that stepping stone. Hopefully they can go to a bigger conference at this point. I think it's a great area to live in. I think it's a great university to be a part of. I think it's an area that's booming right now. And you're going to have an on-campus stadium for the football program, and the basketball program is getting better and better. And it's an attractive job. Make no mistake about it. The 11th largest media market. So they'll attract somebody, and it may not necessarily be the biggest coaching name out there, but neither was the previous coach. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. And
we got to get the NIL money going. I think that's the reason why.
Well, that comes down to being in a bigger conference. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, that too, and just getting bigger donors and people that'll invest in the program to get that more NIL money to get these kids to come to that beautiful campus in Tampa, which is a great campus.
Sure, absolutely.
Want to do some buck talk? There's a rumor here that the Bucs might trade the pick to the Patriots and then drop the 31. Do you see any reasoning behind that? Just because they just want to build up more picks?
And well, yeah, of course, if they want to build up more picks, dropping that far, that's just maybe 5 or 6 slots down, but to 31, unless you're getting like a first round pick next year, or you're getting multiple picks this year. That's 2 or 3 picks. You got at least 2 or 3 picks. Yeah, that's a big drop. That's definitely a big drop. You're dropping out from 15 to 31. That's a risky drop. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I just saw it here on Yahoo Sports. I'm looking there saying that's a rumor going around. They might drop down. Did you have the chance to see any of that flag football stuff on Saturday?
I did watch it. I saw that Brady still has an arm. I seen Odell Beckham with the one-handed catch. I saw Logan. I almost said Logan Paul, and Tom Brady mixed it up, which is again, it's a work, ladies and gentlemen. That's all it is, and it's for WrestleMania. They're trying to pump it up because Tom Brady's in Las Vegas as an owner of the Raiders, and now they're in negotiations with them. Everybody's like, "Oh, this is serious." No, it's not. It's a work. It's a wrestling work. Relax, guys. Grow up. Yeah. All right. What else?
I just thought that I know Brady's competitive. I would still like to see 2028. The Olympics are coming up in a couple of years here. So even as I would love to see Brady and Jaden Daniels and Hurts and Beckham and
a lot of quarterbacks
Barkley
there, my
all
friend.
These guys would be great.
Are you John Gruden?
But those kids, the founders team, you
want 4 quarterbacks to play on the league, play on the field here at this point? You want 4 quarterbacks to play on the field together? I mean, you can't have that many.
Well, no. What I'm saying is that it's nice to see. I would say, I'm throwing out names, Mahomes or Alvin Kamara and all these guys want to show up, but let the USA football team play. I mean, it's about young, fast, 20-something guys that are 5'9", 170 pounds.
Sure.
It's a different style game. I love it. I think they're great. Just let them be, and hopefully, they'll take care of business in 2028. In the Olympics, we'll be kind of looking forward to seeing that. So that's all I got tonight. I just wanted to swing by, say hi. And thank you for wasting my time. Goodbye forever. I'll call you on Wednesday. Okay, bye.
All right, man. Sounds good. Appreciate you. We're like a couple days away from opening day for your Cubs, for the Cardinals and the Rays on Thursday. It's right there, guys. Baseball fans, it's right there. We'll have El Bushman at 9:00 on Wednesday here of the Rays Rewind podcast. We'll also play that interview with Brett Phillips, and we'll play the Doc Gooden interview in case you missed that. There's a reason. There's a method to my madness here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. So we'll play that baseball content on Wednesday. Another third stringer signed by Jason Light, the worst GM in the NFL, every free agent period. Okay, Realtor David Zuzman. He's a goof, Allen. Realtor David, what's good, fam? It's a bad signing when the first thing they go to is the Pro Football Focus grade. Are we really hoping for Lavonte to come back? I think there's certainly a possibility he could come back. Evening, Peter and JC. I like the signing. Hope it helps better depth in the locker room. Go Bucs. Absolutely go Bucs. Go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Stop. Wait up.
Go Bucs.
It's exciting.
Go Bucs.
Fire the cannon.
Go Bucs.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Go Bucs. Thanks a lot for the comment there. Mr. KR, Boy Wonder, right there on YouTube. King Cook 1485. When it comes to the real contending teams, you never have their fan base or media bigging up the depth signings. We talk about the signings all the time. I don't necessarily think it's just a depth signing at this point. He's a guy, again, not a slouch, who's had 100 tackles the last couple of years. I mean, is he the best linebacker in the league? Of course not. But he's a guy that definitely fits in with this defense and can be a 2-down player that can, stop the run, not necessarily the best on coverage. We'll see what their plan is. Why is everything got to be big name all the time? Like everything's got to be a big name player. Like the Bucs can't have depth. This guy can't play special teams and be a contributor to that, which was a god-awful unit. If he improves the special teams, is it a good signing by Jason Light? No. Why? He improved that area. You can't win with some of you guys. You guys are just... All right, so let's go out to this guy.
Damn it, Jim, what the hell's the matter with you?
Let's go out to Jim here in Ohio, OHIO. What's going on, my friend? How you doing?
All right, man. I'm checking in. I'm tired of hearing all that doom and gloom, man.
Oh, it's doom and gloom all the time here on the Sports Web. It's it, man. The season's over before it even started. I hear
Yeah,
I
I
hear
love
the
it.
same damn thing with the Rays too. Oh, the Rays got no players at all, so they're doom and gloom. Nothing can turn around. Why even play the games? Everything is on paper at this point. Everything is analytics and statistics. Why are you even playing the games? The season's over with. Give it to the Yankees. Give it to the Dodgers. Give it to everybody you think. And oh, by the way, you have one of the greatest World Series championships where the Toronto Blue Jays are not even favored in that series, and they're taking on the Dodgers, who are the high-priced team, and nearly take them down to Game 7. So anything is possible. I'm just saying, keep an open mind about this. Bucs fans, Rays fans, Lightning fan, any fan at this point. Keep an open mind. Let them play it out. Play it out. Jim, go ahead.
All right, thank you. Who do we pick up in free agency? We got a defensive lineman, a linebacker.
Got 2 linebackers at this point. You got Alex Anzalone from Detroit, and you also got Christian Rozeboom from the Carolina Panthers. You got him today. You also got Kenneth Gainwell. You got Miles Killebrew to improve your special team. Oh, that's not a good signing. He was a Pro Bowler. He was injured last year, but he was a Pro Bowler. Nobody's talking about, oh my God, they improved the special teams. 3 facets of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. So they've done some, again, not the big time signings at this point, but they stayed under the radar.
So 2 linebackers.
Yep. The defensive tackle.
Defensive tackle.
Yep.
Okay. And then we got a offensive tackle.
They re-signed Dan Feeney, and they also re-signed Cole Keefe, which was broken by Jason Light there, which is always a good sign there. Where's your source? What's Jason Light breaking it? He's the one who signed the contract. So there you go. All right. All right.
Well, hopefully we do something in the draft.
Well, you're going to do something in the draft. You got to do something in the draft. What are they not going to do something in the draft? They're going to pass on 15. I mean, of course they're going to do something in the draft. They're going to have to be ultra aggressive. They're going to have to get an edge rusher. They're going to have to get an inside linebacker. They may have to get a corner. They may have to get a defensive tackle. They may trade down to get multiple picks. They're going to do something in the draft. They're going to make it. Maybe they didn't do enough in free agency for you, some of you Bucs fans out there. They're definitely going to focus on this draft. Trust me.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm looking forward to the draft. And what's all these? I see all these Wilson free agents on the. So the T is a free agent.
Who?
Huh?
Who are you talking about?
The wide receiver.
Which one is there a free agent?
Cheetah nickname.
Oh, Tyreek Hill? No, you don't want him. He's a free agent. No.
Is he a free agent?
He's a free agent. Yeah, he's a free agent.
Okay.
There's a reason why he's a free agent. It's injury. It's age. It's also money. It's also the fact that a lot of teams right now are worried about bringing that player into their locker room to what he did with the Miami Dolphins. They're looking at that. They're not only looking on the field, but they're looking off the field. That's the reason why he hasn't been signed to a big-time contract yet. That's what they're considering.
What about Alvin Kamara? Is he a free agent?
I did not hear that he was a free agent. I still believe I did not hear that Alvin Kamara was a free agent. Is Alvin Kamara a free agent at this point? I don't even know if he's a free agent.
I seen him on a wish list.
Yep, there's a lot of wish lists out there. You know how you know that Kamara is not the same player that he used to be? Because if I haven't heard about he's a free agent, he's probably washed up at this point. But yeah.
All right, I was just saying, I was looking at the wish list out here.
All right. Looking at the wish list. You want an Alvin Kamara? I mean, he's 30 years old. He has problems off the field. His production has gone down when you're a running back and you get to a certain age of 30 years old. That's when the production starts to decline a little bit, right? So you want a player like that? His production's declined, by the way, the last couple of years. So you want that guy?
No, not really.
No, not really. You know why? Because you got Bucky Irving, and you got Kenneth Gainwell, and you got Sean Tucker. And you can still add to that in the draft. I'd rather win Kamara.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I hope we pick up edge rushers we make in the draft.
Okay.
I hope we figure out a way to pick up some up.
They're going to have to definitely find a way to pick up an edge rusher. They're going to definitely look at that. All right, Jim. Appreciate the time as always. Use the second one, all right?
All right.
All right, good stuff there. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. if we still haven't traded for Max Crosby, then what are we really talking about? Seriously, is he on the trading block at this point? Because I know we've seen the recent reports where not only there's a medical situation, which might not be cleared up, but he's also come on and said, I'm a Raider. So I don't know if he's even on the trade block at this point. I know everybody wants to trade for somebody, but it takes two to do that. You're going to give up 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby, who's damaged goods? Maybe a first-round pick, but not 2. And again, we don't even know if he's out there for trade. Laugh out loud. What's up, Peter? What's up, Brent?
Oh, yeah.
King Cook, Brent, salute, homie. Jeff, again, thank you very much for the question right there. Lavonte's mind is right. He still thinks he's fast with the game, but the body is clearly saying otherwise, and that's the real reality. The reality is that he's coming off a knee injury. The reality is that we know Lavonte David, even with the knee injury, can still make plays. Is he the same player he was 5 years ago? Of course not. Father Time's undefeated. I still think he has something in the tank, and if he didn't, why would the Bucs want him back in the first place? The door is open for Lavonte. Lavonte is going to make that decision. We'll see what that decision comes down to. Don't want to overpay for Crosby. Sorry, Ravens realize WTF what they did. King Cook, what we lose for a premier player. So what? He has to miss time this year. This year is a dud anyways. Load manager for 2027. I just think the Glazers are selling. Bucs are in rebuild. It clearly shows. I don't think it clearly shows. We put that out there. I don't think it clearly shows at all. Now, if it doesn't turn around and it's bad, like a lot of you fans think it's going to be in 2026, then yes, they will push the reset button and you guys will have everything you want, your little heart desires. You can enjoy a team that has a young quarterback and has a young coach, maybe a Mike Tomlin. Who knows? Maybe they go with Mike Tomlin, but they reset the whole thing. And you may have to wait a couple of years. It may not necessarily be just a turnaround like you think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be, or the New England Patriots. It may be 2, 3, 4 years. You willing to wait? Put that in the box. If this goes down the drain, like a lot of you Bucs fans think it's going to, how patient will you be? 2 years? 3 years? 4 years? 5 years? 10 years? No? Put it in the box. Put it in the comments. Open phone line, 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. I want to prove something. Bucs fans that want the full rebuild, you want Todd Bowles fired, you want the season to be over with, you want to turn the page from 2027 and don't want this team to play it out in 2026. How patient are you willing to be? Put the comments there in the box here on the sports web. How do you know the Bucs offered more money? Well, it was reported by various sources. It wasn't just one source from Jason Light. It was other sources that put it out there. Why would we think they're lying about that? They had the money. They signed their own players. They've done it in the past. Why would we think they lied about it now? What's changed? They didn't sign Baker Mayfield to a contract extension. They didn't sign Tristan Wirfs to a contract extension. They didn't sign Lavonte David to an extension. They didn't sign Mike Evans to a contract extension. You think that's the reason why he left, is because they didn't offer enough money? Or do you think he just wanted a new challenge at this point and thought that the 49ers were in a better position, which is fine. It doesn't necessarily mean he's correct. Exactly. Of course, it's just all cut and dry. It's all like black and white for you guys. Like Mike Evans left, this team stinks. Like no chance for the young players to step up. There's no chance at all. All right, Bucs defense offered. Bucs definitely offered way more money. I heard $25 million. King Cook says, "Can anyone see Bowles being able to coach 10 to 12 wins out of this team, no matter what team we construct?" I don't know. I think anything's possible. How do you know? I mean, if you think this team is that bad, what's the lottery numbers for tonight? Tell me. Again, I'm going to throw it out there. If you want this rebuild, because this is going to be the first question, you guys call up, how many years are you willing to wait if this is a rebuild? 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years? Put it in there. Eric, welcome to the evolution. That's the question. The Bucs, if this is a disaster in 2026, because it is a doom and gloom night here on a Monday, which I knew it was going to be like this for some reason. How many years are you willing to wait for this rebuild to take place for the Bucs? 2 years, 4 years?
Bring the passion, bring the excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Let's go.
How many years are you willing to wait for a rebuild if it doesn't work out, buddy?
I was listening to, I think I was listening to you earlier, like if, we don't do anything this year, then, do they get rid of Baker and, Vita and Winfield and Godwin and then just tear it all down?
Tear it all down, baby.
Restart.
Tear it all down. Start over again, like a lot of Bucs fans want. How many years are you willing to wait?
A couple years.
You think it's going to turn? You think it's going to be turned around in a couple years? Maybe.
I think so.
Maybe. I mean, in most cases, it takes about 3 to 5 years. Just saying, right?
Yeah.
So are you willing to be patient for 3 to 5 years? I mean, it's just a simple. I mean, it's a simple question. Are you willing to be patient for 3 to 5 years? If it's longer than 2 years at this point, because people think it's going to be turned around in 1 year, which it's happened before. I'm not saying it can happen if you get the right coach, but that wouldn't be a full rebuild. I'm talking about tearing it down, like from the screws on, tearing the foundation down, getting rid of Godwin, getting rid of Vea, getting rid of Baker Mayfield, getting rid of Godwin. Did I say Godwin already? I said him twice. Getting rid of Winfield Jr., getting rid of all these big time contracts and just starting over again. Like, are you willing to do that? How many years would you wait to do it?
I think Godwin's going to have a good year.
Not the question I asked, but okay. I see. Now I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Because you're not willing to wait. You're not willing to be patient. Just like a lot of these Bucs fans. These Bucs fans will bitch and moan about how they want to rebuild, but they're not going to be patient enough to deal with the rebuild.
Yeah.
You think an 8 or 9 or 10 win season when in the NFC South or getting eliminated in the first round is something? Wait. If you get what you want, which a lot of Bucs fans want this, if you get what you want, be patient. Sit back, Buttercup. Put that seatbelt on. Put it on. It may be a little bit. Maybe a little bit. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be Dr. Doom here, but you guys are bringing it out of me. You're bringing that other side out of me, and I'm just trying to tell you the truth. The reality of the situation is if this does not work out, which is certainly a possibility, I don't think you fans are very patient. You haven't been patient with this. Can you be patient with waiting and not getting to the playoffs, not even winning the 3 or 4 or 5 games a year?
Nope.
No. All right, Eric, what else?
How you doing, Peter?
I'm doing good, man.
Yeah.
I'm playing the role of Robert Downey Jr. tonight as Dr. Doom. Marvel fans out there would love it because there are fans out there saying that this year is already over. My question is, if the year is already over with and they go through a full rebuild, how many years are you willing to wait? I want calls. I want text messages. I want to know how many years you're willing to wait for a rebuild. Because I can tell you right now, for every New England situation where they turn it around in a year, or for Seattle, there's always a situation where
Jacksonville.
Or Jacksonville, sure. But did they rebuild it or did they just change the coach at this point? We're talking about full rebuild. Tear it all down, baby. Tear it all down. Tear it all up. Get yourself a stopgap quarterback. Get yourself a rookie or throw the rookie in there. Let him get his brains beat out like a lot of you Bucs fans just don't learn. You don't learn, but you may learn. You may learn the hard way. We'll see. I'm smiling, baby, because I'll be here covering it, whether they lose or win. You know this. This team has been through the doldrums. We cover it. This team's winning playoff games. We cover it. This team's mediocre, like a lot of Bucs fans think right now. We cover it. We'll be here. Yep. All right, Eric. What else?
We're good. We're bad. You cover it. It's like we cover it.
It's the reason why I have all this gray hair in the first place. It's all due to the years. All right, Eric. Appreciate the call, my friend. All right.
Thank you, Peter.
All right. Thank you. Good stuff. Open phone line 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391. What do you think about the signing today? And I'll throw it out there. If 2026 is a disaster, like a lot of you Bucs fans think and putting out there tonight and then put out there for the last couple weeks. So I'm gonna put on the green cloak. I'm gonna be Robert Downey Jr. tonight. How many years are you willing to wait for that rebuild? Let's go out to Alex. Alex, welcome to the Evolution.
Listen, I'm here to bring some nonsense tonight.
Well, that's typical for you. Now, my question for you, Mr. Nonsense, is if they do go through a rebuild, like you think they could, and
do you want me to answer the real question?
I want you to answer the question that I'm asking.
I will,
right
but do you
now.
want me to answer it in the way I want to answer it?
No, I want you to answer the way I want you to answer it. I'm
sorry, but I can't do that. The real answer to my question, on my point of that question, is we might as well go through a rebuild. I mean, you didn't even make the playoffs without the rebuild.
I completely agree. It's been a bad year, but again, to deny and
bad
sit
year,
here and say, okay,
bad year,
okay,
bad 2 years.
It's been a bad 2 years. They won in the NFC South 2 years
ago. You might as well
ago.
do a rebuild. And by the way, I'm going to add this to answer your initial question. If the Bucs do have a decent year, you are going to watch that quarterback leave. Okay. And I don't care what you say.
Okay.
You're going to watch that quarterback leave.
So how many years?
And you're going to be forced to rebuild.
So the question is, how many years are you willing to wait for a rebuild?
Listen, I've been a Bucs fan since.
That's not the question. I don't care. I don't want to hear about your. Listen, I'm not your shrink. I'm not your psychiatrist here. Although sometimes I can be.
It's going to take. Listen, I don't care how long it takes, but I'm content. I'm content with. You might as well save the money, sit back, stock up. You know what?
2, 3, 4, 5.
This GM. Wait. I'm gonna finish. This GM that you say is so good is literally sitting back. Whoopee! We got some draft picks. We got more draft picks. What's that going to do? If you're not in a rebuild mode, what is that going to do to solve our current situation? Because as you think, we're not in that position to rebuild, which I agree. But what the Bucs are doing in free agency is showing us nothing less that you're doing a rebuild mode. You're getting a bunch of one-year deals to buy time, linebackers who really ain't that stress. You're getting pieces that really ain't that stress on the defense. Offense, I'm not worried about the offense. Mike Evans, I'm going to spit some facts how I feel. Mike Evans, I'm not worried about Mike Evans. I love number 13. I've told you a million times I love number 13. I appreciate his 11 years as a Buccaneer. But Mike Evans is not that stressed on the offense with what the weapons we have now. Sure, he's made some big impacts. Sure, when he's on the field, he can make some big impacts. If he's not pulling a hamstring and out for 4 games, 5, 6, 7 games or half a season, sure, but the Bucs saw that paying him what he's asking for in the Bucs terms is not worth holding us up.
Okay.
Holding us hostage.
You didn't answer the question though. How many years are you willing to wait?
I'm going to get to the question. I'm going to get to your answer. But to prove that, you saved all that money off Mike Evans, and what did you really do to fix that defense with all that money that you saved?
Well, I think
because we're not in a rebuild mode.
I think they got a good defensive tackle that can help out that run defense. How do you know? He hasn't even played yet.
But I'm just saying that. Listen, if we have a bad year, you're gonna watch 2B1 walk out that door, and I'm just saying what it is. I'm just saying what it is. You're gonna watch that quarterback just like Mike Evans did. And you're going to watch him go out the door. And if you don't think someone won't pick him up, okay. Matthew Stafford's getting ready to retire. Don't think the Rams won't pick him up in 2 seconds.
Of course they would. Anybody says they wouldn't. And there's other teams out there who would pick Baker Mayfield up. And again, he has his faults. He has to improve on his turnover situation. I'm
going to answer your question, though. Do I want to rebuild? I don't want to rebuild.
Okay, but if they do go through a rebuild, and it's a disaster, because this is what people want to talk about tonight. And again, I give you what you want. You want to talk about this? We'll talk about it. If 2026 is a disaster, how many years are you willing to wait for a rebuild?
Listen, I can't answer that.
Your silence.
I can't answer that because I don't want to rebuild. It's not necessary to have a rebuild.
But I'm saying if it happens.
But your front office is not doing the necessary moves to uptick this defense and make an actual
Alex, you want to fire. Listen, you want to fire the coach, and you want to do this and that. And the other thing, again, it's going to take some time. You're going to have to be patient if you want
I'm
to
not
make all these
talking about
moves.
hiring the coaches, Peter. I'm talking about, I told you many times, and I defended Todd Bowles. I've said many times. I just said it last week.
It's not about defending Todd Bowles. The question is,
I'm almost done, I promise. I'm almost done, I promise. I don't think Todd Bowles is a bad coach, but if you're going to keep him as a head coach, you need to get players who can match the play calling that he's producing, and you haven't done that on the defensive side of the ball. That's why I think we are in rebuild mode. This is a strictly Jason Light problem. This isn't by the way, for all you fans out there, I'm speaking how I spoke mid-season, and I'm going to stand by that. I watched some plays. I watched some tape. Todd Bowles is really not calling a bad defense. I'm going to say that a million times because obviously people are saying, well, Todd Bowles is calling the defense. He's doing bad. He's really not. But we don't have the talent to match his type of play calling, and that's on your GM. Because if the Glazers are going to stick with Todd Bowles as their head coach, your GM is required to go out there and get the matching talent to produce, that type of playing. Look at Jalen McMillan. Oh, my God. Why do we extend him? Jason Light, another failure by him. How much money did we just hand him?
Jalen
McMillan. Got burned
you mean Zion McCollum?
Oh, yeah, McCollum. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah,
McCollum. Oh, my God. How awful that deal was.
He had a bad year. He has an opportunity to turn around. He better turn it around.
You got to. Let me ask you
one bad year and you're ready to give up on the player.
What do you see? I'm going to ask you a question. Now answer your question.
Well, I'm going to answer your question. If you're willing to give up on a player who had one bad year, then obviously you're not going to be that much. You're not going to be patient at all when it comes to a rebuild.
I'm just saying that Jason Light really hasn't really done nothing the past 2 to 3 years to really make impact moves to make a difference on that defense. And that's the facts. I mean, the stats don't lie. You ranked almost dead last in pass defense the last 2 seasons.
Okay.
You ranked almost dead last in 2025 or 2024.
I think they tried to make a move for Hassan Reddick. It didn't work out. It was not a good move. They tried.
You re-signed Zion McCollum to a ridiculous extension based off of one good year.
But they tried to fix the pass rush by signing Hassan Reddick, and they also drafted David Walker. It didn't work out. I get that. We get all that. I get that. All right,
Benjamin Morrison, another guy that really...
You don't know. The body of work is not there. You're ready to call this guy a bust. He hasn't even had a full year to start. This is what I'm talking about. The reality and the perspective of a lot of the Bucs fans are completely insane at this jump. I'm not saying just you. I'm just saying like 1 year, like you have a small sample size and you guys are just ready to turn. Listen, if you had this type of attitude, I'm going to tell you right now, you would have turned the page on Rondé Barber, because when Barber came into the league, he wasn't even starting. In fact, he nearly got cut from this team. And the Bucs organization was patient. Why? Because they knew that he was going to be something special, and he worked on his craft. I'm not saying every guy on this team is going to be Rondé Barber, but some of you fans would just literally just say, Warren Sapp, the first year there, 2-3 sacks. Get rid of this guy. He's a bust.
I get it. But it's like this. It's like this. Baker Mayfield came here. Did we initially offer him $100 million guaranteed?
Of course not.
No. Wasn't his second contract with the Bucs an incentive-based type of contract? Yeah, it was. He balled out.
It was a $4 million contract.
The Baker haters. Baker Mayfield, in my opinion, has done an incredible job, especially last year, working with that offensive line he had to work with.
I agree with you.
And the injuries.
I agree with you.
Not making excuses for the ultimate interception that ended the season, which all of you guys are going to simply look at that one thing. But look at Baker as an all-in-all, what he's done for the offense, and what I promise you, you name me another quarterback, free agent quarterback that's going to be available that can do something better than what Baker has produced with the offensive line injuries and what he's done. My point is this, Peter. Going to go back to your question. Do I think we are needed for a rebuild? No. So I can't answer your question. We don't need to rebuild.
All right.
You still got talent on both sides of the ball.
All right.
And I really think on the offense you have talent.
All right, Alex. Appreciate the call, man. We went round and round. I mean, again, Benjamin Morrison, he's a bust. You've seen him like 2 games. He didn't have a full season. Patient with Baker. Patient with everybody else. Benjamin Morrison, bust. Sion McCollum, bust. Realtor David Zuzman, answer the question, my friend. Welcome to the evolution. If it goes south in 2026, that's the question for the night. How patient are you going to be with the Bucs rebuild? 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? How many years?
Yeah. So first of all, I don't think it's a rebuild. Okay, I think this team is in desperately need for a reload.
Why? I don't understand this. Like I must be in the twilight zone tonight because I feel like this is all over. Like I'm on the phone and I'm doing insurance and I'm trying to tell somebody and ask them a question, they're not answering it, and then I'm asking people here tonight. This is the question. This is the question.
Okay.
Don't go around it. Let's hit it, right? Because everybody wants to hit it. It's going to be a disaster in 2026, according to some of you Bucs fans. So if it is a disaster in 2026, how patient will you be with this Bucs team if they go through a rebuild? 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, or longer?
So it depends if Jason Light is going to be fired or not. If he's going to be fired, I'm very patient.
So I
can wait 5 years.
You would wait
5
years. So you would wait for the eternity as long as Jason Light is fired.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. As long as he's fired, then we have a way out, because I think that Todd Bowles is being criticized a lot, and not for a good reason. Okay, for the last 5 years, Jason Light did a horrible job, and everything that he's facing right now, he's facing because Jason Light is the absolutely worst GM in the NFL.
The worst.
Every free agency. And he also does a very mediocre job using our most valuable picks.
So
which
he
is number
doesn't
one
get, he
and
doesn't
two.
get okay. So everybody goes, he's the worst GM in free agency history. So he doesn't get any credit
Yes.
for getting Tom Brady. He doesn't get any credit for getting Shaq Barrett the year before. He doesn't get any credit for Rob Gronkowski. He doesn't get any credit from Ndamukong Suh. Doesn't get any credit for any of that at all.
No, he got
It's
a
all
credit.
Tom Brady.
Look, Peter. Before Tom Brady came here, he had a 38-58 record. Okay. He was one of the worst GMs in the NFL with the worst track record. So then he won. He brought Tom Brady.
Let me ask you something.
And then after Brady left,
we go round
for
and
the
round.
last 5 years,
Relative David
he
Zuzman.
is absolutely horrible again.
Relative
So
David-
it's time for him to go somewhere else.
Relative David Zuzman. Why did Tom Brady go to the Bucs?
Because Jason Light, for 6 consecutive years, he had top 12 picks, because we are always among the last teams in the NFL. So he was able to acquire talent because he made the team suck.
Well,
for
that's a
years
part of the
straight.
rebuild. I mean, you said you wait for eternity if it wasn't Jason Light. Jason Light built the team, built the defense for Tom Brady to choose, but he didn't do anything at that point, right? We're not going to give him credit for that?
So I don't think he gets a credit, because any manager, if I put AI, artificial intelligence,
I
to have
feel
for
like I'm
6
talking to AI
consecutive
tonight.
years, top 12 picks, they would do a better job than he did. So no, he doesn't get a credit.
So you get no credit for building that team for Tom Brady to choose.
No.
Okay.
Anybody would have done a better job than he did.
Okay, so again, if he doesn't get any credit, how was the team built in the first place?
So it was built through years and years in which we were in the bottom of the worst division.
Do they have to make those
football.
picks? They have to make those picks. Because if you're talking about not making, if you get draft picks, right? The Cleveland Browns, they have like plethora of draft picks every year, right?
Yeah.
And then they're bust. They're a terrible organization, and this is why, right? They have to go in free agency and overspend. This is the reason why. But if your reason, relative to David Zuzman, your reasoning is your reasoning is that the Bucs, the reason why Jason Light was so successful all those years with those draft picks is because they sucked. But what my thing is, he actually has to make those picks, and those players that he picks they have to be the foundation of the team. Like, you have to build the offensive line with Donovan Smith and Ali Marpet and Alex Kappa, right? You have to have, okay. So, and then you also have to trade for JPP, and you have to get Shaq Barrett in free agency, and you have to draft Devin White, and you have to draft Carlton Davis and Jamel Dean and Sean Murphy-Bunting and Jordan Whitehead and Antoine Winfield Jr. and Tristan Wirfs, right?
True.
Okay, but that's not a Jason Light. That's not Jason Light. That's Tom Brady, Bruce Arians. Jason Light had no part of that. He was sleeping on the job. He was like Mark McCarthy. He was getting the massages there in the room, in the coach's room. Jason Light wasn't doing anything.
Peter, you already gave us the answer. You are talking just now about the Cleveland Browns, right? They have one of the top defense in the NFL right now. And why do they have that? Because they suck for a very long time. If they only, when they traded for
why can't they get a quarterback? Why can't they build an offense? Why can't they build a whole team?
Hold on a second. They did the moves.
They did?
They got a QB that they thought it would be the answer,
and they moved on.
And it didn't work out. If he worked out, maybe they would be in a very different position right now.
But maybe, but it didn't work out. Tom Brady didn't choose the Cleveland Browns. Tom Brady didn't choose those teams. Tom Brady chose the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Why? Because Jason Light built the team. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
All I have to say is like this.
You are a Jason Light hater. That's all there is to it, man. Come on.
No. I can concede that the work that he did to prepare the team for Tom Brady's era was okay.
And then after that, when they went for it, that wasn't good. And then they went for a cap hit. They took the cap hit. They got Baker Mayfield on a $4 million deal. He turned into be a more productive quarterback at his rate. They re-signed him. I mean, again, you can talk about him missing edge rushers, but to sit here and say he's like the worst GM in the national, come on, bro.
No, Peter, let me be very objective, because this is not only
an edge
being
objective. There's no, you're not
issue,
being objective at all. There's no, you're not being objective. If you're telling me that the reason why the Bucs and Jason Light have the successes because they suck so many years, and I'm telling you, well, if that were true, then why aren't the Cleveland Browns getting Tom Brady in the same way? Because they had to make the picks. They didn't make the picks in the first place. Okay. What are you talking about?
Peter, give me 1 minute, okay? In the last 5 years, we went from having Carlton Davis, Jamel Dean.
Did he not help? Did he not win a Super Bowl? Did not Carlton Davis for a time there for the 3 or 4 years? Was he not a productive corner?
Yes, he was.
Okay, that was a Jason Light pick. That was a Jason Light pick, by the way. Jamel Dean was a Jason Light pick.
Yes.
Sean Murphy-Bunting was a Jason Light pick. All those players contributed to Super Bowl 55, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So those are Jason Light picks.
Look, we had them. We had Dominican Sue. We had JPP. We had Vita Vea.
Who picked those guys up? Who picked those guys up? Was it Jason Light? Or was it Bruce Arians?
Then or
was it Tom Brady?
Linebackers.
Or was it Rob Gronkowski? Or was it Antonio Brown?
And Lavonte David, right? And we have Winfield in the back playing really well.
I'm gonna go ahead, let you have that minute, and you go ahead and tell me and convince me. You just talked about all these players. Okay. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna move on. You use the second call or something like that. Let me go out to the phone lines here.
Okay.
Well, welcome back to the evolution of sports talk television. Go ahead. What's your name? What's your name? Where you're calling from?
Hey, my name's Marshall. I'm calling from Fort Strong, Florida. How you doing?
Marshall, I'm doing great, man. I am definitely losing hair by the minute here. I'm about to get my dad's bald spot because I have somebody trying to convince me that Jason Light did nothing at this point with building a team for Tom Brady, and has done nothing. Is the worst GM in all NFL football. I've heard it all in my grand scheme of things in my broadcasting career. I've heard it all. Jason Light is the worst GM in all of pro football, but he built a team that won a Super Bowl. Amazing.
You know, I call that the Madden effect, sir. I call it a lot of people that think it's all Madden.
I guess so. Jeez. My goodness.
And you know, you're talking about a GM who's built all these linemen who come from small schools, finding these talent to make one of the best lines in the league.
Yep.
And find these gem running backs that nobody thought nothing of to rush for one of the compared to top guys in the NFL. And let's not forget who got our star player, who's now in the 49ers, with us. Now, granted, fumbled the bag at the end, but that's personal reasons. I feel that's the reason why that happened. So, I don't buy it. I don't buy this slander on a gentleman that Jason Light is. I think that gentleman did a lot for our organization, and I think he's going to take us to another Super Bowl.
Well, it's the reason why he still has a job with the Glazers, because they have confidence in him. And again, I'm going to sit here and say he's missed on edge rusher. He's had his fair share of misses, as Bucs fans will bring up, but they also will forget that he built this team up to win a Super Bowl. He's built this team up to be a consistent NFC South contender. Now, let me ask you this, Marshall. You seem like a pretty sensible guy. If the Bucs go through a disaster like a lot of Bucs fans think in 2026, how patient are you going to be with the rebuild? 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, or like Realtor David Zuzman said, if Jason Light is fired, for eternity?
Well, let me ask you this, sir. What is your definition of a successful rebuild?
Well, my definition is that you draft a young quarterback, you get rid of all your veteran players, you cut salary, you go completely young, and you tear it all down like a lot of Bucs fans want. How patient, let me ask you, how patient are you going to be with that aspect? Your silent, your silence speaks volumes, because I know how patient you are. You're not going to be very patient at all. You know why? Because you like winning the NFC South. You need to win the NFC South. You need to win playoff games. Bucs fans need to realize this. Like, again, I'm not telling you that this is the greatest brand of football, but I'm telling you that other side of it, when I ask you that question, and I'm Dr. Doom, I'm Robert Downey Jr. for the night here on the Sports Web, and I ask you, and I'm saying to you, how patient are you going to be if it turns out to be wrong or bad in 2026? And you guys go, I don't know. Maybe I kind of like the 8 or 9 or 10 wins. And again, Bucs fans, you can appreciate it, or you could say, you know what, the expectations are higher. They got to do something. And maybe they do. Maybe it doesn't work out. I'm just saying, how patient are you guys going to be? And it seems like there's no patience at all with this fan base. I got told that a player who played 3 games, not even a full season, is already a bust. I got told that the GM that won a Super Bowl just 5 years ago is the worst GM in all of NFL football. The patience here is just it's razor thin. So you tell me, Marshall, how many years are you willing to wait?
And I am willing to wait a little bit of time, but I can see the sentiment on we're running out of time, sir. We're wasting a lot of talent, and there's going to be a guy who walks away, sir. So realistically, with me and a lot of other Bucs fans, I don't think I have more than 2 years to where it starts getting heated.
It's 2 years. You're waiting 2 years. So the 2 years. That's tough. If you're tearing it all down, I mean, it's possible. Again, for every New England Patriots situation, but they didn't really rebuild. Like, it took them some time, and then they turned it around after the 1 year there with a new coach. So again, 2 years, maybe it might be longer.
It doesn't happen often.
No, it doesn't.
But it happens.
No, see, you're a sensible guy. Marshall, what else here on the Evolution?
You said what now, sir?
What else? What else is on your mind tonight, my friend?
Oh, I wanted to bring that back up, sir, about
By the way, look, Marshall, yeah. I appreciate you respecting me. You don't have to call me sir, man. I appreciate that, though. That's nice of you. You don't have to just call me Peter.
Okay, Peter. I wanted to get your take on the situation with Mike Evans and that altered person, and then the future of this Bucs wide receiver room, as not a single player goes above 6 foot.
Well, I mean, it's a great question, and they got lots of talent in that room, and they may address it in the draft. But what I think is this offense could actually be better because you give those young players the opportunity in Emeka Egbuka to shine. You give the opportunity to Jalen McMillan to shine. Chris Godwin may return to that form just 2 years ago when he was one of the top wide receivers in the league. You got Tez Johnson, who have 5 touchdowns. You have Cade Otton, who may be more involved in this offense now that you actually have an offensive coordinator that can, figure out what the offensive weapons, where they go and this offense, and they want to return to that. So to answer your question, yeah, Mike Evans is going to be a loss, but you know what? Maybe this offense is better off without him. As crazy as that sounds, maybe this offense is better without him. And just because you finally got an offensive coordinator that knows how to get his weapons the ball. And this helps Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield has a chip on his shoulder. And I think, again, the 2026, everybody's saying that it all is lost. I just say, let's see how this all plays out first before we, just decide to go doom and gloom. All right, Marshall, appreciate the call, man. Don't be a stranger here on the Evolution. Use the second call, all right?
Have a good one, sir.
All right, good stuff. He still called me sir. Don't listen to me tonight. Just don't listen. I appreciate you, Marshall. I know it's a thing. I don't know. It's a thing, I guess. All right. I guess I'll take more phone calls. I guess you're going to run me until midnight here. So let's go out to Jim here. Jim.
Damn it, Jim. What the hell is the matter with you?
What's on your mind tonight? Welcome to the Evolution.
I've been listening to all your callers. Ain't nobody want no full rebuild. So all these fans, I don't know who you're talking to, but you need to call them back.
Well, how many years, Jim? Damn it, Jim. How many years are you willing to give if you go through a full
years.
rebuild?
I give you 1 year. Right? I don't want no rebuild.
That's great off the shot right there.
Rebuild, you need to call them back. Because I don't know who you're talking to. But all these fans,
I'm talking to
even
them.
these big critics was like, nah, we don't want no rebuild.
Well, no, you don't want the rebuild, but you want to fire the coach. You want to fire the GM. You want to get rid of the quarterback. You want to get rid of all the players. You want to start all over again. And what I was asking is, if you do that, how many years are you willing to be patient? And everybody's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's that pregnant pause thing. It's like, maybe the 8 or 9 or 10 wins of winning the NFC South. And maybe, listen, maybe that's where the Glazers are thinking. Like, they're thinking, you know what? We don't want to go back to the doldrums where you had 10 straight years of losing and no playoff appearances. And the most interesting thing you had was Jameis Winston throwing his 30th interception. And he had to come on these shows for 3 hours and talk about how Winston was the quarterback or the guy, and he continued to throw games away. You don't want to talk about that. You want to talk about defense giving up touchdowns at an alarming rate. How about the greatness of Greg Schiano? You want to talk about that? Let's talk about Lovie Smith and the greatness of how bad that defense was. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to go back to that, how many years are you willing to be patient? And I think that's
I
what
just want to keep the squad. I never want to get rid of Diabo and Jason Light. I think he right there. He just got to put his foot on the gas.
I mean, I'm not saying if you make a coaching change, if there's some type of coaching change, it's all going to be doom and gloom. But I'm just saying, a lot of people are saying, just tear it all down. Just get rid of the quarterback. Get rid of this guy. Get rid of this guy. It's like all Madden again. Just tear everything down. And what I'm trying to tell people is, be careful what you wish for, because you may get it. And if you do get it, how patient are you? Are you ready for it? What else, Jim?
Hey, what about our backup quarterback? Do you think? I know.
Jake
Browning. I know your partner wants to get another one, but do you think they're going to move, or they're going to just keep the one we got?
Well, they got Jake Browning. They got him. He got 4 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. They got him from the Cincinnati Bengals.
Where did he come from?
Well, besides his mother, he came from the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Jake Browning.
Jake Browning. Yeah, that's a great question. I think he's a little bit up there in age, but he's been a guy that's started before in the National Football League. I believe he's had 70 starts. A couple years ago was one of his best years. He was 4-3. He's actually 29 years old, 29-year-old backup. So he's definitely, I think he's a lot better improvement over what Teddy Bridgewater has been. I think anything was better than Teddy Bridgewater and Kyle Trask.
Well, we moving forward, man.
We're moving forward.
We're doing our off season
right.
now, so.
It's not doom and gloom here on the sports web, but you guys want it to be. I can make it that way. All right, Jim. Appreciate the call. All right. All right. I'm going to try to read these comments. I'm going to call up the phone line because you guys keep on calling, and I appreciate that. We got to read comments here. Let's see what these guys are saying. Bucs definitely offered more. Brent, Baker can't see over the line to hit the open receivers. I've heard this before, Brent. You got to come up with something new here. That's my point. Did Mike say it? Did his agent say it? We're in the room. Just saying, don't always believe the media hype headlines. Those narratives are fake to keep the hysteria down. His agent has come out. There's various sources that came out. Jason Light came out. I told you what it was about from the very beginning here, King. It was not about money. It was about winning. And he felt like the San Francisco 49ers were in a better position than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Man, them Magic suck. They did lose to the Lakers the other night. I watched it. I don't know how you go into a timeout First, you miss a free throw. Don't even shoot the free throw. We call some type of timeout, and then the Lakers get back the ball. Magic did everything they could to lose that game. Everything they could to lose the game. And, of course, they allow the three-point shooter to be wide open because that's where the NBA is at this point when it comes to three-point shooting. If you can shoot the three, you can win games. I don't know what they did tonight. I'm too busy doing this show trying to talk myself off the ledge. Broadway says, Brightside Broadway, hey, Peter, hey to you.
Oh, yeah.
This is definitely a rebuild. Stop it, Peter. They have to play the role. Come on now. Laugh out loud. The big board right there out of Canada. This is a good-looking crew right here. Nice to see on my timeline while scrolling. Thank you very much. Big board. Appreciate you. Magic consistent. Glazers are low-key trying to sell. If they don't do good next season, they will rebuild. Steve says Magic consistent in losing. What were they? 38-31 before they lost to Lakers. Now 38 again. Wow, expectations high for the Orlando Magic. These splash signings got us to the Super Bowl in 2020, though. Now, all of a sudden, we're too good to make splash signings. Okay, laugh out loud. Rams will pay Baker $55 million a year. I think we read this one. This guy is the biggest player of both sides of the fences I've ever heard, bro. They are cheap. Light has lost a step in evaluations, has given terrible contracts to the wrong guys. Baker should not be going anywhere. Let him go and bring in a top flight draft quarterback for what? A hope that the guy can play half as good as Baker has with no consistent OC, no defense, terrible head coach, fix the coach, D, stop giving away your players and hopes and prayers on second and third tier. Again, what are you giving away? You give away Jamel Dean, who had one good year, who's been inconsistent. The writing was on the wall. You went with Zion. You went with Benjamin Morrison. You went with Jacob Parrish. Parrish showed out. Morrison, he's got something to prove. Right? Zion McCollum's got something to prove. Dean, the writing was on the wall. They're going to get rid of him. He hasn't been able to stay on the field consistently. Logan Hall, we're talking about losing Logan Hall. I mean, you lost Mike Evans. Logan Hall and Jamel Dean. That's what we're talking about right now. Chris, the Rams don't want Baker Mayfield. Stop. No other teams wanted Baker Mayfield. Of course, Brent. Nobody would want the touchdowns that he's been able to provide. 41 touchdowns? 2 years ago, what was it? 30 touchdowns his first year with the Bucs, 41. How many touchdowns is that he's been able to produce with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? You think that nobody would want Baker Mayfield with the contract that he's got? Really? With that production? Come on, Brent. You guys are completely wrong. They won't let all the players walk. That's Light's problem. Too worried about personality, not focused on who dominates on the field. Chris Cole, he could have went there as a backup before he signed with the Bucs. Brent, Peter, don't forget Baker Mayfield, of course. Taylor Jean, don't make a scene. Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
T-Town 813, Trouble City. Laugh out loud. Hall was trash. 3 technique I've seen. Soft as hell. Brent, 8-9, 9-8 will be the record this year. That's it. If we don't have more primetime games, because we are 2-8 in those games. And that's all Baker Mayfield's fault. I forgot. That's what you're going to say. Ben Cornett, Jamel Dean is kind of like Kawhi Leonard of the NFL. Really good at his position, but he's only going to guarantee you for playing 10 to 12 games a year at best. By the way, Kawhi having a comeback here. Yeah, you guys say I don't watch the NBA. I do watch the NBA, but he can't stay healthy. He's one of the best players in the league when he can stay healthy. Once Steve, Jamel Dean falls down and hurts himself. Alex, once Baker sees how bad we do, we will not have to renew him. Don't think the Rams won't pick him up. Brent, the Glazers know you don't have to win in Tampa. We celebrate 8-9, 9-8 season. If you want more from a team, Bucs, mediocre, and the fan base will have a problem with you. Nobody has a problem. I'm just putting it out there. If you guys want doom and gloom, how many years are you willing to be patient for the rebuild? Nobody's been able to answer. Maybe they have, and I have missed the comment. He's a bust. Who's a bust? 3rd and 28. Don't forget the pick that lost the Panthers game. Evans was mad about that. 25. Hell no. Double O'Kane. Hate to be this guy, but Panthers are about to run the NFC South the next 2 to 3 years. Okay. Thank you very much. Brady got caught cheating, whether you want to admit it or not. Still the greatest of all time, Brent. Every year, it's the same nonsense. But Bucs local media celebrate Jason Light's 3rd stringers signed in free agency. Then they celebrate mediocre players drafted by midseason. They blame it on Bulls. Clowns. Alex, for real, not sure why any fan base is content with 9-8 records winning division title in a poverty division. Steve, Magic lost to the Pacers. Laugh out loud. What? They Paolo sucks. Okay, so they lost to the Pacers tonight. Yikes. That's
good enough to suck right there.
Yikes. You should win that game. That's a winnable game. I personally could see the Bucs moving down for more picks if there's a certain player the Bucs want. They may not be there before pick number 15. M. Pless. Thank you, Michael Pless there from Real Bucs Talk. Trade down if possible. Mesidor, Howe, Lawrence, Thomas. All makes sense. Thank you very much. We have to have you on the show sometime. It's like the Tampa Bay Rays hanging wild card banners. King Cook, didn't this offense score points last year? Laugh out loud. If you can't stop anyone, what does it matter? Laugh out loud. Are we the team that stops the possible Ruben Jr. fall if it happens? That would be very cool. I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see. Now the new narrative is that the Glazers don't let Jason Light be competent GM in free agency. The Jason Light media will never come short of excuses to justify his incompetence. Michael Pless, 15. I think it will be an edge rusher, but it looks like just like last year, the mock saying Golden, but it was a Mecca instead. This year it's Mesidor, but could be a different edge. Could be a different edge. You never know. Alex, that's the way it is, bro. As long as we get to the playoffs, they'll be happy winning Super Bowls or at least getting to the NFC Championship game they care about, because every year you're not expected to win a Super Bowl. That's the reality of the situation. In your mindset, you would fire Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes because they didn't win the Super Bowl this year out of 1 year. But the majority of the time, they've been to Super Bowls. Bucs don't have a clue how to draft all these picks or bust. They are not moving up. Ben Cornett, I do think the Bucs need a tight end in the draft, maybe third round or later. Brent Cook, what happens if the defense plays good enough to win, but the game comes down to Baker Mayfield and the offense, just like in the playoffs against the Lions? Realtor David Zuzman, Jamel Dean is definitely not a bust. Logan Hall, JTS, Aguayo. We're talking about Aguayo from 2016. My goodness. What did the Bucs get in free agency? Refresh my memory. We got a defensive lineman, Ashawn Robinson, Alex Anzalone. They signed Christian Rozeboom, the linebacker from the Carolina Panthers, Kenneth Gainwell, Miles Killebrew. They made some moves. JTS, Logan Hall, Kyle Trask, Braswell, Barton are all bust. Again, not ready to say Barton is a bust. Dahlman retired. That was your guy, Realtor David Zuzman. It was Realtor David Zuzman's guy. Thank Christ. Laugh out loud. Brent, the Bucs should have kept Devin White with the linebacker they signed. Why? He couldn't stay healthy. He was out of position. He clearly regressed and was uninterested after the Bucs wouldn't give him a contract extension. Did you watch the film? Did you watch the defense take a step back? He was one of the main reasons why. That's why they got rid of him. He's soft-ass 3-tech, gain weight, still can't get whipped by any guard. Brent, Kyle Trask outplayed Baker in training camp, but I get you have to push the narrative. Again, I was right about Dahlman. He's one of the best centers and was underpaid. It was the right move. T-Town, Kyle Trash, King Cook. Devin White was a key dog to the defense, period. Ben Cornett, correction, JC. It's Vernon Hemorrhoids. Get it right, sir. Okay. They played him at 3. BS. Brent says Baker Mayfield just got more chances. He's on the 4 team as the number 1 overall pick. Also had more experience. I'm a Gator fan, and I didn't want Trask. Ain't got nothing to do with Gators. I don't care about players like y'all do. Well, you do care about players. You care about Baker Mayfield. You're obsessed with Baker Mayfield. That's all you talk about. You talk about Baker Mayfield can't see over the line. Baker Mayfield throws interceptions. Baker Mayfield's the whole team. The reason why the team sucked last year wasn't the defense couldn't stop anybody. It wasn't the fact they had all the injuries in the first place. It was Baker Mayfield. And even when Baker Mayfield was injured, it still didn't matter because it's all on Brent Baker Mayfield. That's your deal. Baker had 10 picks to Kyle Trask's 2 in training camp in 2023. Let it go. Realtor David Zuzman. Players can get injured, retired, etc. Those are all variables, but the right move should be evaluated based on what was available in terms of information, the time of the decision. That's a fact, says Brent. But they chose Baker Mayfield over Kyle Trask. And it worked out because I believe Baker Mayfield that year threw over 30 touchdowns and got the Bucs to the playoffs. And won key games down the stretch that you forget about. I forgot. Remember, we went to Lambeau Field and had nearly a perfect game. Did you forget that? Did you forget the game where you beat the Atlanta Falcons in the must-win game? They beat them in the last drive. You forgot that. I know. You remember Detroit, but you didn't remember Philadelphia that year. It's crazy, man. Selective amnesia. It's one of those things that's running wild in the Bucs nation right now. Go Bucs fans. I would have kept Trask over Teddy, just saying. Brent, Baker Mayfield was a business decision. Look how y'all looked at Baker Mayfield. Do you think he's a Hall of Famer? Realtor David Zuzman, my plan last year was to sign Mac Jones as our backup because I'm cool like that. Brent, I'm a real Bucs fan. I don't care about these players like y'all do. I care about the Bucs more than I do the players. Realtor David Zuzman, I just want a new GM. Of course, you would wait until eternity for a rebuild to take place if they fired Jason Light. It's the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life. We had the opportunity to win because the roster is good, but injuries. Boom, there it is. That's a sensible comment. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hell yes, says Eric. Again, the celebration of 8-9, 9-8, laugh out loud. The Glazers will re-sign Baker Mayfield because they know you don't have to win in Tampa. 8-9, 9-8 is a good season. It's not true. David is leaving. You know this because why? You talked to Lavonte David, his agent, his camp, Jamie. Come on, stop it. Let's see. Realtor David Zuzman, I just want a new GM. Of course. Eric, Bucs fans deserve better. Great show, fellas. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
Abraham B. Cherry. Hi, JC. Need to see you here on the Sports Web. We'll get him on here more. I'm not even asking for a Super Bowl. Get to the NFC Championship at least, but wanted more means you're a bad fan. I didn't say you're a bad fan. What I said was that if you are going to go through a rebuild, how many years are you willing to wait if that's what you want? If you want a new quarterback, you want a new coach, you want a new GM, you want all new players, and I still haven't seen anybody answer this question at this point. It's amazing to me. And everybody that gets on the phone, they don't know how to answer. You know why? Because you guys are not patient. You guys have the attention span, some of you, of a gnat. I wanted Mac Jones last year. Went brilliant. Jason Light re-signed Trask. Cut him and then sign Bridgewater to throw hospital balls so we can miss McMillan for almost the season. Taylor Jean, so sorry for you, Peter H. Blake. It's okay. Man, I don't care about hockey or baseball. Both of these sports are whack. Thank you, Brent. The B is for bitches. Great.
Oh, yeah.
James says FSU. Thank you. FSU football. King Cook. Gold Knowles. No one is going to feel sorry for USF. You have to pay to play. Motto of America. Hell, can't wait for the season. Let's go Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's go. Hell yes. I love it. Don't care that much about college. My college is the one my son plays for. Thank you, Brent. Taylor, I see the cheer shout outs. FSU football, go Knowles. Brent, so what baseball is boring? Who cares? T-Town. As soon as my Knowles get rid of garbage ass Mike Norvell, we will be back. You know I'm right. Hey, Peter, hope you're doing fine. Thank you, sir, for tuning in.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to King Cook. T-Town facts. We just have to wait another year. Take calls with J.C. Allen. Howdy, Peter. Thanks a lot, Justin, for tuning in there on YouTube. He don't even know the linebacker we just signed. Go Cubs, says Chris Cole. Brent, they got a bunch of Jags, just guys at this point. Jason Light is trash, says Brent. Go Yankees. Okay, great. Brent, facts, Jags. Brent, Cook. Peter's my guy. He's so optimistic regardless. King, I have to be optimistic. You guys would drive me to drink. I need antidepressants when I get off the show with the negativity that's going on. In fact, here's something negative. So I did my college, what is it? I don't necessarily know if I want to waste this paper, but what the hell? I'll do it anyway. So my bracket this weekend that I did last weekend. Goose. That's what it was right there. There's my bracket. Thank you. If you know that line, we can talk. So let's go ahead. Ruben Bain Jr., Sonny Styles is there in the draft. Light is not going to take them. I don't know what you're all acting like he would. When he's supposed to go right, he always goes left. At this point, I don't care who they draft because Bowles ain't going to be here to coach them. Okay. Brent, facts. King Cook, top 10 offense. Please stop. Laugh out loud. Brent, Cook, he ain't lying, bro, about Jason Light. Laugh out loud. Chris Cole, it won't matter who they draft. Bucs fans will still complain. Yes, they will. That will be the consistent thing. Chris Cole. If the Bucs drafted the best need, they would find a problem. He has short arms, short hands, small hands. He didn't have enough sacks. He had not enough sacks. There will always be something to complain about. And again, that's the great thing about the sports web. You can complain as much as you want. With the first pick, Jason Light will pick left guard Sam Houston States. Laugh out loud. What young quarterbacks has Zach Robinson developed? What is his quarterback tree? I'm curious. Well, didn't he work with Matt Stafford there with the Rams under Sean McVay? You worked with them. Laugh out loud facts. John Bosco, a long one here. The linebacker they picked up is really, really not good enough to be a starter. He will be good enough to be a solid backup for the position. That said, we will have to see what the Bucs do in the draft. If they draft a linebacker in the first round, I think Lavonte David will announce his retirement. If the Bucs don't get their stud linebacker in the early rounds, I think there's a good chance David plays in 2026. This new guy splits time with David. Remember, David's Pro Football Focus rating last year was, I think you say not good. Man, forget baseball. Alex says, Peter, funny as hell. Thank you. Brent, season is way too long. 164 games. We talk about it. 162 full. Brent, Alex, look at that. Missed by 2 games. Still too long. Alex, I know, I'm kidding, bro. Brent, no, Jason Light ain't smart enough to do it. Brent, Alex, I know, bro. Alex, bold prediction. Alex again. NFC South standings for the Troll. First, Panthers. Second, Falcons. Third, Saints. Bucs last. We suck. There you go. Absolutely. Give me a Tom Brady.
That's good enough to suck right there.
They knock your head off anymore in the NFL. Brent, Peter, you're my guy. I know. Thank you. People with skills, artists, mechanics, teachers, actors, athletes, etc., are either good at what they do or not. Quarterbacks don't struggle. They do sometimes get stuck in bad circumstances. Football is a team sport. In my opinion, Baker's really good at playing quarterback, but he spent most of his career in bad systems or playing on a team hammered with way more than the normal number of key player injuries or playing the season wearing a straitjacket awaiting shoulder surgery with that. Good comment there, David. Appreciate you. King is a troll for that comment. King again, over 100 tackles for the new signing. Okay, that's production. There is production there. Brent, King is my guy, bro. He keeps it real, regardless how he feels about the team, good or bad. Alex, you're a troll. Thank you. Alex, I don't know. We had over 100 tackles. I will retract that statement. Just kidding, bro. Brent, well, I'm from Houston, born, raised, and I still can't wait until basketball is over. Brent, been a Bucs fan for over 30 years now. Appreciate it. Sounds like Jason Light, laugh out loud. USF has to pay to play. Start getting that money rolling in to make a couple conference jumps, then you're talking, but the winning always has to follow the money. It is what it is. Brent, this is a Jason Light move. Alex, yep. Jason Light all day, lose 15 to get more draft picks. Yay. I think Realtor David Zuzman sent me another super chat. So I let you talk tonight. I appreciate you as always. You got to love that. Realtor David Zuzman, we don't see eye to eye, but he continues to send me YouTube super chats. You got to follow that guy's lead. $10 right there. Flag football is for the weak and 4-year-olds. Alex, let's see. Peter, my man, bro, you've been saying this for 3 years. We are not content with an 8-9 football team. I see that. What did all these NFL players expect to happen on the flag football field? Alex, we're supposed to, bro. Peter's my guy, though. He's optimistic, but I love it. Cook, laugh out loud. King Cook again. We also re-signed Charlie Heck. That's not true. The Dolphins signed him. Wrong. It's a good pick. He should be our left tackle. King Cook. Let's see here. NFL players are not conditioned mentally to play no damn flag football. Laugh out loud. Too worried about getting hurt. Alex, we better not get Tyreek Hill. Laugh my ass off. That's a real setback. Africa, fire the cannons and go Bucs. I like that one.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up. It's exciting.
It is exciting.
Fire the cannons. How about them Bucs, baby?
By the way, the biggest troll here, it is March 23rd, 2026, and Todd Bowles is still your coach.
It's exciting.
It is exciting. There you go. Thank you. We will definitely fire the cannons.
Fire the cannons.
We need to trade with Minnesota and get the outside linebacker, says Garland. Thank you very much for the comment. One, ain't no injury. The whole thing was a shame, but do not overpay for Crosby, especially since the Bucs are clearly in rebuild mode. Garland, we need a Grenard from Minnesota. It's going to cost you. I don't know if they're going to make that move. It's not about what we want. It's clearly what's happening by keeping a sub-500 coach to start free agency. Then the rest follows. Brent, I'm patient. Keep going. This route ain't doing nothing. How patient? Answer the question. It's not about what we want. It's clearly what's happening by keeping. Okay, but how patient are you with a rebuild? You guys have not answered the question at all. LBD played too many snaps last season, like 98% of them. He should be only playing 85% of the snaps. King Cook, I'm patient, Peter. I've been riding with the Bucs since 94, 95. I'll still be here, rebuild or not. How many years, King Cook? I don't care about Mike Evans leaving because he was leaving at some point anyway. David, I thought Jason said we were supposed to be getting younger and faster. Brent, how much longer do we need to deal with this? Brent again, I've just changed the quarterback. James or Jim, how about no? Yes. how about no?
How about no?
There you go. Good stuff. Brent, right now you don't have to, but if you keep doing this, it will be a complete rebuild. No rebuild, says Jim. This mentality that Bulls and Light have made us destined for missing the playoffs again in 2026. I've seen this all before. Brent, that's the point, Peter. I don't want to tank. Okay, but if they do, how many years are you willing to be? And again, no answers to the questions. It's like crickets out there right now. You guys don't answer the question. It tells me everything you need to know. Without Brent, we have a stopgap quarterback right now. Sandra Nagel, my beautiful mother. Thank God for you. Watching the best sports talk show in the Tampa Bay area, the Sports Web. Harry's not here tonight. Prayers out to Harry, his family. His mom is in the hospital. Hope she gets better. Prayers out to the family. Maybe we'll have them back on Wednesday. Go Bucs. They will be fine. Love it. Love the optimism. It clearly runs in the family at this point. Thank God. King Cook. Facts, Alex. Chris Cole. Alex, one missed playoffs in 5 years. Now you think they're rebuilding the past 2 years. Come on, man. Roeberg native. 13 million dead cap hit from Evansdale. Correct. King Cook. We don't have a Patrick Surtain in our secondary or Hamilton at safety. No Warner at linebacker, but we're sitting back like we're going to rely on some rookies to come in and elevate our defense to the postseason. No rebuilding. Chris Cole. Our secondary is going to be better this year. You know I'm right. The guy on the phone is an idiot. Zion only had one bad season. When is this great season? What did I miss? The season before when he got the extension. Alex is right. Realberg native. The Glazers and Jason have not surrounded the Todd Bowles with talent. Todd Bowles with talent, not the Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles with talent. The defense having players like Ryan Neal, Logan Hall, Joe Tryon, KJ Britt, Hassan Reddick, etc. James, how are you? Who are you talking to? Brent. He's always injured when he plays bad. Chris Cole. Alex, the Glazers have been handcuffed by Light and Bowles. Brent. Baker Mayfield has choked in every do-or-die game since he's been here with the game in hand. Yes, of course. Again, you forget about the games. How is he always injured? King Cook. Clean it up. I'll wait 3 to 5 years with a new coach and GM. All these older players out. So 3 to 5 years you will wait. Okay. All right. Agree, but he thinks Light is a good GM. Alex. I'm sorry, he hasn't been good since day one. He's only good because of Brady, and he brought 80% of the team here. Let's be real. So, again, Jason Light had no part in that. What's good? Head coach is going to commit to Baker. Chris Cole. Light doesn't have the money to spend on high-quality players. Alex Dunster. Brady brought 80% of the players. Of course, Light didn't build the team. He ain't lying. Brent. Alex, you ain't lying, bro. King Cook. Speak those facts, Willard to David. Alex Dunster, don't think Rams will bring him in. King Cook, good GMs don't have to wait 6 years for no rebuild like Light. Alex, Peter, don't like the truth. Sorry, bro. Peter doesn't like the truth. Okay, thank you for saying that again. Because of Brady, that's how. Of course, Light had no. Light had nothing to say about those picks. Nothing about building the team for Tom Brady. I forgot that. It's amazing. No other teams wanted Brady. The Raiders, 49ers, Chargers, Dolphins all said no. That's a proven fact. Raiders actually had a deal done, but John Gruden decided to go with Derek Carr. Again, they did have a commercial with Bucs scouts using AI to find a linebacker. Laugh out loud. Could you imagine that that's how Jason drafts? Realberg native, come on. Alex, they wouldn't bring him in as a bridge quarterback. Real facts, the Microsoft commercial, Realberg native. You don't like the truth about Baker, the late game turnover quarterback. Alex, am I wrong for what I said or am I tripping? Brent, Brady brought AB and Gronk, in which Bruce Arians said AB not coming here, but Brady said he's coming. Again, who built the team for Brady to come here? I said I agreed his turnovers were a problem even if he ended our season. King Cook, we don't win the Super Bowl without the offensive firepower we had. Let's don't do that. Let's Don't do that now. Laugh out loud. You don't win the Super Bowl if you have the defense that Jason Light built. Did you guys forget? Was my first sentence, but nothing to do with Jason, Realburg native, Carlton Dean, Sean Murphy Bunting, all off the team now, but all contributors to winning Super Bowl 55. Again, forget. PCA and the Cubs are finalizing a long-term contract extension. Don't know who the hell PCA is. It's late. I'm about to get off here. Pete won't let him finish. Alex, laugh out loud. Brent, it was Brady that brought those players in. Of course, it was all Brady. Light had nothing to do with it. Brady, let's not finish who speaks facts. Peter, not Brady. Peter Brady. It's called the Brady effect. Get real, Peter. Realtor David Zuzman. We went from having a young and promising cornerback room to having injury-prone Morrison, McCollum, and Lettuce Hands and Parrish, who was a nickel that will play out of position. My goodness. Did you say Lettuce Hands and Parrish? They're not building a team. What's Gronk and AB left after 2 years? King Cook. Okay, hold on now. Best O-line. I thought we had the worst O-line last year. Which one is it? Realtor David Zuzman. Since Vea, we never drafted a single top-level defensive lineman. Jason Light missed the whole 2016-2021 draft. Laugh out loud. Alex, it was an injured O-line, but fans won't see that. But blaming an injured quarterback running for his effing life. Since Barrett, we missed our edge rusher picks and failed to bring one in 5 consecutive free agencies. Brent, 8-9, 9-8 ain't good, Peter. We went from having Devin White in prime and Lavonte David to Anzalone and Savasier Dennis. King Cook, I'm not talking quarterback tonight. I'm talking O-line. Losing 7 of the last 8 ain't good, Peter. Am I tripping? It's one season, Alex. Baker was only running for his contract extension. He was not running for his life behind the 6th-ranked offensive line, even with injuries. Realtor David Zuzman, if someone's willing to look where we were and where we are and come to the conclusion that we are not patient, it's just absurd. Alex, Jason Light is a Hall of Famer in Pete's eyes. Realtor David Zuzman, there's zero reason to celebrate Jason Light's mediocrity. We are good at receiver. King Cook, the Patriots were rebuilding every 2 seasons. We all know this during the Belichick era. None of the primetime players got paid, so there's left to go elsewhere to get paid. Alex, end of the day, Jason Light has failed in previous years to address issues regarding the defense, so much so he did nothing at the deadline to improve this defense at the deadline while the team tanks. King Cook, but Belichick could always coach up the new team year in and year out, no matter what. I don't see that with Bowles. What's his record without Tom Brady? Retooling until they're ready for another Super Bowl run. Can't suck up his pride, realize why he did. I jumped the gun, giving McCollum an absurd, unnecessary extension. The team went into a losing streak when they needed help at the bye week, and Jason Light showed them that Hyde didn't believe in the team and was not going to do anything. Brent, just get a quarterback and a new coach. He will be okay. Just that easy. Todd Bowles ain't the problem. I stand by that. It's Jason Light failing to match talent with the coach this organization wants to keep. King Cook. Well, the Glazers and Light aren't sure acting like they don't want to go back to the dark ages, clearly. Brent, Baker is throwing games early right away. Realtor David Zuzman, I would keep Bowles, but definitely fire Light immediately. Go on, get a GM that actually loves to improve his roster like Howie Roseman. We need Roseman like GM. Brent, the Glazers know you don't have to win in Tampa, so they're going to re-sign Baker Mayfield to keep the team 8-9, 9-8. You've said that comment 30 times now, and I've said it over and over again. I can bet with anyone we will come 3rd or last in the worst in the division this year. Jim says, go Lakers. Jim again, LeBron James. Realburg native. Jason has been inconsistent with finding consistent talent, drafting or free agency, more misses than hits. But the Super Bowl will never be forgotten. King Cook, it's always about the money. Anything else they said is a lie, because if it wasn't, then there would be need for an agent of negotiation. Let's be real, not about the money. It's a status quo line. Can we get rid of the Glazers too? No, they're the owners. Good night, guys. Love and appreciate you all talking sports with my fellow fans. Have a blessed night. Mars, delusional fans on the signings. Hendrickson was an unknown and popped up after his 4th year. The Bucs need consistency, and Tampa fans are being spoiled with the Super Bowl, are not patient. Thank you. I can't believe they let Dean walk. He won a Super Bowl for us 5 years ago. He also contributed to the fact that you were 8-9 last year. It took Brady to make like a good end of the story, I guess you're saying, Alex. I think there must be a power struggle within the Glazers since they received a $5 billion offer for the team. Maybe some wanted sold, some didn't. Maybe the ones who wanted sold are sabotaging. I don't know. The team, Realtor David Zuzman, this is the only thing that would make sense in keeping Jason Light, hurting the team every year, destroying Super Bowl window chances. A silly statement. Brady did not build the defense. Brady did not build that line. Brady Pohl was an injured Gronk, a washed AB, and a few rotational linemen. Gronk. Louis from the Frozen Pirate podcast. I think the Buccaneers are going to take the best available pass rusher with pick 15. What the expectation of all 32 teams to win a Super Bowl? What are we talking about here, folks? Laugh out loud. This is not Madden. Teams do not get back to the Super Bowl year after year. Exactly. Browns defense is all set already. Does it make the Browns GM incompetent? Of course not. If you drop top 10 players for 8 years in a row, you will build a good base. Then why don't they have a good offense? Here's the real issue. Stop sending your players to Cancun after the bye. They will be okay. Jim, LA Lakers lost to the Detroit Pistons tonight, 110-123. Great. Barton is definitely a bust. Alex, midseason slump, didn't get a name for no reason, just saying. Realberg native. For the people who think Baker was running for his life last year, go look at how Rozeboom intercepted Baker at home. How many times did the defense give up 30 points? Not excusing Baker's interceptions, but the offense did score game, by the way. I want to remind y'all something. Y'all were praising Baker at 6-2 for his 2-minute comebacks, even against Seattle. Realberg native, people remember Detroit lost because the game was win or go home, and Baker sent the Bucs home on an interception. Alex Dunster, but defense could ever just contain anyone on 3rd and 28. King Cook, Barton gets no push up the middle from the center position. It's like we were forcing a guard tackle and Barton to play center. Makes absolutely no sense. Alex, Baker had how many 2-minute comebacks at 6-2? Defense fell the second half of the year. James, Jim, Bucs win no matter what. Thank you. Barton only played center in college for like a game or two. He balled out playing tackle and guard. That says everything about Bowles and Light. Realberg native. I'm more concerned at Baker taking the next step to being elite and winning a Super Bowl. The regular season, we have seen Baker ball out, but lose and win in home games. King Cook, no Baker talk tonight, please. Let's keep the focus on Jason Light. Jim, not an attention span of a gnat. Yes. Realberg native. How concerned about your 3rd and 28? Baker should be last problem to be concerned about. Y'all were talking Baker's MVP at 6-2, just saying. Alex, 4 2-minute comebacks at 6-2 with MVP talks. Jim, go Cincinnati Reds. Let's see. Baker was beating sub 500 teams, not even playoff contenders. 3rd and 28 along with an interception from your Hall of Famer Baker. College stats mean nothing, especially when you look at the conference. Barton has the body of an interior offensive lineman, the intelligence of a center, and he's not replacing our offensive tackles. Good comment. I don't do brackets for college. What did Baker do for the Super Bowl champions? You are in denial. Realberg native. Baker played great that game. What did Baker do against Buffalo or the Patriots? Again, I appreciate Peter's positivity and patience. Free agency with Jason Light is like a Christmas season in which we are not allowed to get socks for the cheap uncle. Fire Light and go Bucs.
Fire the cannon!
Super Bowl champions, bro. You are becoming senile at a young age, my friend. I know that we can put him at left guard, but we dominate in college. That would make correct. Or typical Bulls, Light always have to outthink the room. Gracious, you're just in denial. Go Baker. King Cook. Great analogy. We're all absolutely hating getting socks for Christmas. Pats were in the Super Bowl too. Louis, Pats want Hill. Of course they do. You never back your points up with stats. Laugh out loud. You say the Super Bowl champs. What about the must-win games at the end of the season? Please tell which game Graham Barton played at left guard in college. I will wait. Thank you, Mars. Team lost, but 3rd and 28 will season on the line. Realberg native. And the team lost because of Baker interceptions. King Cook. Facts, younger and faster. 2 years. Alex. 3rd and 28, 4th and 15 with Baker interception, team loss. The lack of speed on defense will show up on game day. So far, I don't see it. Mars says, still waiting for the answer, sir. Brent, I can wait 2 or 3 years. That's it? 2 or 3 years? What happens if it goes longer than 2 or 3 years? I will wait forever. As long as we get a new GM, they will actually try to improve the team and not be incompetent and stubborn like Light. Even Rozeboom from the Panthers that cuts Baker, intercepted Baker on a clean pick with no Bucs wide receivers around. Just waiting for you to acknowledge the defense when I called you. Blame Baker for the interception. Rilberg native. Of course, the defense is bad. Doesn't excuse Baker for subpar. Literally said a team loss in my phone call. Rilberg native. Prayers to Harry and his family. Great show, Peter. Go Bucs. Thank you very much. Go Bucs.
Fire the cannon!
We are almost at the end of this. Prayers for Greek. End of the day, rather we agree or disagree with each other. This is family here. Go Bucs. Go Bucs.
Oh, yeah!
David, didn't a head coach contribute to us being 8-9 last year? That he did. Sun Devil Day, Peter Crow Armstrong. You will be seeing him next week at the Trop. Good. No more Baker talk, please. Laugh out loud. I got Baker fatigue. And by the way, Barton never played left guard in college. Thank you very much for the comments. We will check TikTok now. Plenty of comments there. What's up, Peter? How you doing? Haven't spoke to you in a while. I think that's Michael there. Who is that? Michael, thanks a lot for tuning in. Look, it sucks. We lost Mike in free agency to the 49ers, but it is what it is. The Buccaneers are playing. My pick for the Buccaneers to draft in the first round, Caden McDonald, Ohio State, or Sonny Styles. I don't think Styles is there. Let's just put this away. Jason Light didn't get us. Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. I don't know what he's saying. Baker with less interceptions this year than what he did his whole career. And well, there's a rebuilding team. This is the best rebuilding team they've ever been in the National Football League. Any Instagram live? No. Any more comments? Realtor David Zuzman. Barton was another horrible first-round pick from Light, but only because he loves his picks. I'm done. We'll be back on Wednesday night. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. Remember, right here, we'll put it out there. Bucs latest every day on the Fan Arch Network. If you want Bucs content, if this wasn't enough, Brent, if you want to talk about Baker, Realtor David Zuzman, if you want to talk about the GM, Alex, if you want to talk about Todd Bowles and 3rd and 28, this is the place to go to. You can comment. I don't take phone calls, but you can comment on my content. It's Bucs latest on the Fan Arch Network. Read one more comment, and then we will get out of here. Jim, good night, bro. Thank you for a great show. Absolutely, Realtor David Zuzman. Good night. Good night to you. Good night, sir. Thank you very much. I believe that's Marshall. Is that Marshall? Thanks a lot for commenting in, and great show. Thank you. As always, we'll wrap it up right there. Thanks a lot to JC Allen there on X. We'll be back on Wednesday night, getting you ready for Tampa Bay Rays baseball, and of course, talking about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers as always. 3 things, we'll wrap it up there. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, especially you Go Bucs fans, oh my God, I lost my thought. It's your time. We'll see you next time here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television, as we always say on this show, because I'm just completely lost at this point. Go Bucs.